generate some runs in key situations and come back and win a few games now. They had a 4-game losing streak there for a while, but they broke it, and they have a 2-game winning streak and hoping to make it 3 now tonight.
Right, and of course, if you're a fan of the NECBL, you know that these guys were short-handed the first week. I think Torrington even had some of their relief pitchers out playing the field because they just did not have a lot of guys on the field. Of course, with different colleges, you have different exam schedules. Wick Udy was a guy from Oregon State. He arrived late. So we're going to take a quick break for the playing of the national anthem and be back with the starting lineups. Okay.
Well, very nice job on the national anthem by that young lady. Looks like a Little Leaguer, though. Has a Little Leaguer uniform on.
Big league voice, though.
All right, absolutely. And now we're set for the starting lineup. And for the Keene Swamp Bats, it'll be the third baseman, Rocky Baker, will lead off. Batting second, the second baseman, Matt Carullo. Brendan Gilligan will bat third and be the designated hitter. Brian LaHare will be at back cleanup and be the left fielder. The shortstop, Andy LaRoche, will bat fifth. Brett Olette will bat sixth and play right field. The first baseman, Trey Hendricks, will bat seventh. Doing the catching and batting eighth, Alex Durhack. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Jeff Barry. And for the Torrington Twisters tonight, the second baseman, Blake Justice, will bat leadoff. John Cronin will bat second and be the right fielder. The designated hitter, Brandon Roberts, will bat third. Batting in the cleanup spot, third baseman Justin McLean. Lee Lipschutz will bat fifth and play left field. First baseman Mike Solka will bat sixth. Jordan Zarnicki in the seventh slot, and he'll play center field. Wick Udy, the catcher, will bat eighth, and shortstop Lou Farrell will bat ninth. And as we said before, Tim Rice will be the starter tonight for the Torrington Twisters, and this is our first look at him in actual play that counts for the season, so likewise we don't have any stats on him. He pitched a little bit in the scrimmage game up at Cooperstown, New York, though, however.
Well, Rice, again, as we mentioned before in the pregame, a kid who has had some trouble with his control, needs to locate his fastball, try and get that over the plate on the corners, and he'll work his changeup and curveball into it. Really just a guy who likes to mix it up, doesn't favor the changeup or the curveball one more than the other. But again, a heavy fastball guy. And talking to manager Greg Hunt before the game, he said that this guy needs to work on not using his fastball so much. So that's what we're going to try and look from him tonight. I understand he's had a little bit of a problem with giving up walks this year at Richmond, so he's going to try and get the walk total down, and this his first start of the 2002 summer season.
All right. From the University of Richmond, native of Brookfield, Connecticut, 6 feet 2 inches tall, left-hand pitcher. Getting his warm-up tosses in. Pretty warm day today. Slight breeze, not a factor in the game. It seems breezy up here in the crow's nest, but the flag out there in center field is totally unmoving, so obviously it's not a factor in the game. Sun is pretty blazing. A little bit of haze today. No clouds in the sky right now.
Mm-hmm.
Really really a great day for a game, but also pretty hot.
Absolutely, and hopefully it'll cool down a little bit before, as these guys get set to play.
Rocky Baker steps in, lead off the game. The first pitch from Rice is taken a little bit high for ball one.
Fastball belts high, just did not get the first call by the home plate umpire.
Rice, Baker squared the bump but then held it back. The pitch was inside for ball two.
And, of course, with that first pitch, probably an indication that there's going to be a low strike zone tonight as that belt-high fastball sailed in there for a ball.
Rice, kick and 2-0 pitch is taken, called, strike one. Inside corner, nice pitch, a little more velocity on that. 2-ball, 1 strike count on Rocky Baker, the third baseman for the Keene Swamp Bats. A right-hand batter. Rice's 2-1 pitches, hard hit foul, straight back on the screen, 3/4 of the way up the screen, behind home plate. Matt Carullo is on deck. And defensively for the Twisters in the outfield, Lipschutz in left field, Zarnicki in center field, Cronin in right field. 2-2 count. Tim Rice kicks, delivers, and a well inside pitch. Almost hit Baker. Not quite, though. Didn't have to move out of the way too much. A little close to the shirt, though, from my angle, but he didn't.
Absolutely.
Didn't hit him, though. Still an inch away. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Rocky Baker. Tim Rice's full count pitch is a hard hit bouncer to the shortstop. Farrell takes it and throws it down there to Sokol at first. 1 down. 6-3 play.
Great job of coming back and getting Baker. He missed on that 2-2 fastball inside and then induced a ground ball with the off-speed pitch.
And in the infield, McLean at third base, Farrell at shortstop, Justice at second, Sokol at first, Udy behind the plate doing the catching, and Rice on the mound. That'll bring up Matt Carullo, the Swamp Bat second baseman, with 1 down. Tim Rice, first pitch is taken, called strike one on the outside corner.
That went a little bit lower, got the called strike on that one.
Rice looks in for the sign. He sets the kick, the pitch, and that's taken low, ball 1, 1-1. Carullo from Georgetown University, a left-hand batter, has a very squatty stance, swings and hits the ball in the air to left field. Standing right there, just has to take a few steps to his left, is Lipschutz, and he puts it away for the second out here in the first. Game just underway.
Very good first inning for the young left-hander Rice. You remember the kid's only 18, and he's established the tone early, getting the first 2 batters out.
Absolutely, as Brendan Gilligan steps into the plate, the designated hitter for the Keene Swamp Bats. Gilligan. First pitch to him is taken, called, strike 1. 2 outs. Game just underway. We're in the top of the first. No score. Torrington Twisters against the Keene Swamp Bats from Fusenage Park in Torrington. Tim Rice on the mound, fighting the sun. Most of the field in the sun. Pitch is a fastball, called strike 2 on the outside corner on Gilligan.
Now with 0-2, I'd venture to say that Rice is coming back with an off-speed pitch.
The kick, the pitch, and that's taken low for ball 1. I think that was an off-speed pitch. Correct prediction there. Gilligan comes in at 238. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Rice kicks, delivers, and a high, slow bouncer right in front of the mound. Rice picks it up, turns and fires down the first. 3 down. Nice 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the first for Tim Rice and the Twisters. So at the end of half an inning, no score from Fusenage Park.
Torrington Twisters baseball in WAPJ.
Okay, John, as Brian Harrison is the starting pitcher for the Keene Swamp Bats. He's completing his warm-up tosses. 1.69 earned run average so far in 2002 season. 0-0 record. He's had 3 appearances, 5.1 innings pitched.
And talking with Keene manager Paul Swingle before the game, he was saying that the starter Harrison is really just a spot starter, guy who's normally used in the bullpen. But Keene, like so many other NECBL teams, their pitching staff has just been decimated and just thrown into shambles by all the rainouts up in this short time in the season. Of course, you know, if you're a fan of the league, you understand that these teams play every day, and 1 or 2 rainouts in a row can really wreak havoc for the coaching staff.
Yeah, especially later in the season, because then you got to reschedule all the games, and you get a lot of games in a row. As Justice will lead off, the Torrington Twisters' second baseman. Justice is coming in at .364, 12 hits on the season so far. He's a left-hand batter. Harrison kicks, delivers. First pitch is a fastball taken low for ball one. A little bit low. John Cronin on deck. Justice is a speedster. So Brian Harrison on the mound. His pitch is called strike. A little bit higher, almost looked like the previous pitch, but this time it wasn't a strike, so one ball, one strike count.
Good pitch by Harrison. Hit the inside corner on that one.
Brian Harrison looks in for the sign. He sets the kick, and the 1-1 pitch is called strike, almost identical again. One ball, two strike count on Justice.
And Keene third baseman Rocky Baker was playing right on the infield grass. Now he's taken a couple steps back with a 1-2 pitch upcoming.
One ball, two strike pitch from Harrison is swung on and fouled third base side, well out of play.
Taking a look defensively at Keene quickly in the outfield from left to right, Brian LaHare, Jeff Berry, Brad Ouellette. The rest upcoming after the second straight 1-2 pitch.
Nobody out here, bottom of the first, no score. Brian Harrison looks in for the sign, and the 1-2 delivery is hit on the ground. A bouncer to second baseman Carrillo takes it on the short hop, throws down to first. They got him, one down, bottom of the first.
Close call on that one, but checking the rest of the Keene defense, Rocky Baker in the infield at third, Andy LaRoche is at short, Matt Carrillo at second, Trey Hendricks at first, Andy Durack is doing the catching, and Brian Harrison, his battery mate, is on the mound.
John Cronin steps into the plate, the Twisters' right fielder. That is true. The second baseman, Carrillo, waited for that one to come to him. And that was a slow roller, and Justice has wheels, so he has time when the clock was ticking. As the first pitch to Cronin is taken low and away, ball one. Brandon Roberts on deck. Pitch from Harrison is called strike, just missed. A little low and outside, 2-0. Cronin comes in at .429. He has 3 hits on the season and 7 at-bats, has an RBI. He's a right-hand batter, gets back in there. Harrison's pitch is hit, bouncer, middle of the infield, second baseman Carrillo up with it, goes to his left and throws. They got him for 2 down. Both outs to the second baseman Carrillo.
Carrillo getting a lot of work right now. That was a pitch that was just hit off the inside part of the bat, just did not get a lot of wood, and the result, a little one-hopper over to Matt Carrillo, the Keene second baseman, and quickly there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
One big hop to him as Brandon Roberts steps in, the designated hitter, batting left-handed. In his second season with the Twisters. Brian Harrison, the first pitch is taken a little bit outside for a ball. Roberts comes in at .250, 7 hits on the season, 3 RBIs. Brian Harrison kicks, delivers, and pitch is called strike. Tricky pitches, very close to the previous one, but this time it was a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Very good, and a good way of catching the ball by Andy Durack to frame the pitch to be called a strike.
Fielders fight the sun as the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed by Roberts. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, bottom of the first, no score.
Had him guessing on that one, a little breaking pitch. The bottom dropped out of that.
Most of the field still in the sun. Again, the shade of the press box is creeping up sort of near the pitcher's mound as Harrison kicks and delivers. Pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Roberts down on strikes. Both 1-2-3 innings here in the first inning. And it's at the end of an inning complete. Still no score from Fusenich Park between the Torrington Twisters and the Keene Swamp Bats of NECBL live action. Like I said, it's a great night for a game. I mean, it got really hot there for a while today. Now we just got a nice breeze, cools everything down. This is the perfect time. Really nice night for a game here at Fusenich Park.
Absolutely, and up on here on the top of the press box at Fusenich Park, Jeremy, we're a little bit spoiled because there's been a breeze blowing up here since about 5:30, so we're very cool and comfortable. And now the fans who are still couple pouring in here and there, they're getting a chance to settle in and it should be a comfortable night and an exciting night of baseball.
Absolutely, as Brian LaHare, Andy LaRoche, and Brett Ouellette are the scheduled three for the Keene Swamp Bats here in the top of the second to face Tim Rice. Ryan LaHare is the left fielder for the Keene Swamp Bats. The left-hand batter moves the dirt around the batter's box a little bit. LaHare comes in at .333. He's got 7 hits on the season. Produced 2 RBIs. Tim Rice, first pitch to him is called a ball, a little bit high. Ball 1.
Well, LaHare, one of those local kids here on the club. He's from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Rice kicks, delivers, and pitch is taken low. Ball 2, right over the plate, but low.
Very much an eastern New England feel on this Keene Swamp Bats ball club.
Rice from the University of Richmond. 2-0 pitch is taken, ball a little bit high. Close to the strike zone, but this time a little bit high. Just missing. 3 balls, no strikes on LaHare. Andy LaRoche on deck. Middle infielders playing deep near the edge of the grass. Pitch from Rice is ball 4, a little bit inside. So Brian LaHare with the leadoff walk here in the second.
And the 4-pitch walk at that, so really Rice coming out here in the second and starting off a little bit wild. Should be interesting to see how he battles back against the shortstop, LaRoche.
Well, LaRoche, as you said, the shortstop, he comes in at .278. He has 5 hits on the season, scored a run. Tim Rice checks the runner down at first. The throw down to first is the light throw. Back there easily standing up is LaHare. Area near first base is getting shaded. Most of the field still in the sunlight. Tim Rice sets the kick, and the pitch to LaRoche is called strike 1.
And you mentioned most of the field still in shade. Both coaches box in shade, and that's where Paul Swingle, the Keene manager, is at third. His brother Joe in the first base box tonight.
Tim Rice pitch is swung and fouled up into the parking lot beyond the stands on the first base side.
Talking with Paul before the game, native of Arizona, former big leaguer, broke in with the California Angels, now the Anaheim Angels, of course. He has some interesting stories.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. So LaRoche, a right-hand batter up there, 0-2 count. LaHare down on first with nobody out. The pitch is taken high and a little outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Andy LaRoche. Brett Ouellette on deck.
Swingle faced Kurt Schilling in junior college in Arizona. Paul saying that Kurt was still a good pitcher, but not the same that he is today.
LaRoche from Grayson County Community College. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and fouled, bouncing right near the fence down the corner on the third base side.
Said that Kurt was a excellent power pitcher, but we would just try and blow the fastball right by you. Now he says Kurt developed a split finger where it comes in like a changeup and the bottom drops out. He says forget about it. No one's hitting off him.
Throw down to first, a fast throw down there, and diving back is LaRoche. That was a little closer. That was a surprise to me even, and he's safe though down there. Nice move by Tim Rice.
A little too close for comfort for this Keene Swamp Bats ball club. Caught him napping off at first.
1-2 on Andy LaRoche. Sokol holding him on at first down there. The 1-2 pitch is a hard hit bouncer right. Oh, diving Justin McClay knocks it down right on the line, but everybody's safe. Good play to block it though. Bounced and rolled away from him in the foul territory though. So a single by LaRoche.
Very good play. McClay not playing close to the bag at third base. Had to take about 2 steps, three or four steps to his right, and then dive to grab the bouncing ball. The ball hit the end of his glove and bounced in the foul territory. Really just nothing you can do about that ball.
So that'll bring up Brett Ouellette, the Keene Swamp Bats right fielder. Ouellette's the right-handed batter, coming in at 214. The runners on first and second take their lead. Infielders playing shallow, Sokol on the grass, and Rice turns as if he's going to fire to second, but no play there, as LaHare is right there on the bag. McLean playing on the edge near third base. On Ouellette. First pitch to Ouellette is taken low for a ball, fastball. 1-0 count on Olette.
That was the old daylight play that Rice looked around, saw daylight in second, thought he'd step off.
Pitch to Olette is low outside, ball 2. Olette from the University of Maine. And nobody out here. 2-0 count. 2 runners on. Tim Rice looks in for the sign. Looks at the runners, sets, kicks, delivers, and popped up. Shallow right field. Barely has to move a step is Cronin. Makes the catch. The throw in, and back on second base is LaHare, where he stays there. The 1 down. Runners stay where they are.
That ball by Olette hit the medium range right field. Really nowhere the runner at second, Andy LaRoche, could go.
That's right. And that'll bring up Trey Hendricks with 1 down and 2 runners on. The first baseman for the Keene Swampbacks, Trey Hendricks. Hendricks is a right-hand hitter, steps in. Tim Rice on the mound. No real play on any of the bases, although they're keeping an eye on the runners. The first pitch to him is a called strike, outside corner, fastball. 0-1 count on Hendricks.
Now this is where you test the kid's character. Runners on first and second, 1 out. See if you can try and get this batter out.
Hendricks coming in at 2-11. The kick and the pitch from Rice is low outside, ball 2, and the catcher, Udy, jumps up and takes a look at all the runners. No play, though. They just stay where they are.
Really know where that runner on first could go, as there's another Keene Swampat at second.
Exactly. Rice looks back at the runner on second base. He kicks, delivers. The 1-1 pitch is taken outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Alex Durhack on deck for Keene. Outfielders playing in relatively normal positions. Zarnicki slightly shallow behind second base bag. Tim Rice takes a look back. He kicks, delivers. 2-1 pitch is low inside near the dirt. Ball 3, 3-1.
Well, really the second last to last pitch, a curveball that dropped in there too high. Now he tried to throw his fastball back inside. That missed. Now it's a 3-1 count. Has to give the hitter a good pitch to hit.
The 3-1 pitch from Rice is hit hard. Bouncer into the left field for a base hit. Up with it is Lipschutz, and throw into home plate. Nobody going there. So bases loaded. Single for Hendricks.
And now with the bases loaded here and 1 out, there's Alex Durhack coming to the plate. 8 and 9 that Rice is guaranteed to face. He's hoping to get out both of them.
So LaHare on third, LaRoche on second, and Hendricks on first with 1 out for Alex Durhack, the catcher. Takes a couple of practice swings a few feet behind the batter's box, takes a glance down at the third base coach, and he steps in there, moves some of the dirt around the batter's box, sets the bat. Cross home plate, one of those little rituals, and now he's ready. As Tim Rice is looking in for the sign from the catcher, Udy. Rice sets the kick, and the first pitch is taken high and a little bit inside. Ball 1 on Durhack.
Durhack, a 105 average for the Swampats in 5 games. Only 2 hits on the summer. Really a low percentage guy to try and get a hit in this situation.
1-0 pitch to Durhack is popped up, foul territory, first base side. Coming over is Sokil, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So a nice break there in foul territory to get those foul outs. 2 out. Now a ball hit anywhere could end the threat in the air, especially. 2 down. We're in the top of the second, no score. The batter will be Jeff Berry, the number 9 hitter, the center fielder for the Keene Swampats. The Keene Swampats have black shirts with purple accent, white baseball pants with purple stirrups. Tim Rice, first pitch is taken inside for a ball to Jeff Berry. Again, bases loaded, but 2 outs here in the top of the second. Tim Rice looks in, he sets the kick, the pitch, fastball low in the dirt, blocked by Udy behind the plate, ball 2.
Really, it looks a little bit from our vantage point at the top of the press box that Rice is trying too hard. In his windup, when he comes down, he's looking down at the ground rather than at the plate, trying and pinpoint that ball way too much.
runners take their leads from each base. Tim Rice sets, and the 2-0 pitch is a hard hit bouncer right past the runner to shortstop Farrell. Underhand flip to Justice covering second, and that's 3 outs. Well, got into a little bit of a tough situation here. Bases loaded, but they were able to work right out of it. Nice ending to this top of the second inning. Still no score from Fusenich Park and Torrington between the Torrington Twisters and the Keene Swamp Bats. So as we go to the bottom of the second, no score. Justin McLean, Lee Lipschutz, and Mike Sokol, the scheduled 3 for the Torrington Twisters, the middle of the order. Set to face Brian Harrison. No score in the game for both teams here. And the Twisters with a 4-4 record going into the game.
Really, they broke Torrington doing very well these past couple of days against the Thread City Tides. Won a game, snapped that 4-game losing streak out in Willimantic at Eastern Connecticut against the Tides, and won, as we said before in the pregame, a close one here last night at Fusenich. Looking to make it 3 straight tonight.
That's right. Justin McLean steps in, the Twisters' third baseman. McLean comes in at .222 on the season. He has 6 hits, a double, and a home run, and an RBI. Steps in. McLean's a right-hand batter, digs in. Brian Harrison on the mound. He looks in for the signs from the catcher, Durhack. Third baseman playing a little more shallow. Harrison sets the kick, and the first pitch of the bottom of the second is taken inside and a little bit high for ball 1 on McLean. 1-0 pitch from Harrison is taken low, fastball for ball 2. Just below the strike zone there. Tricky pitch, tempting, but McLean shows patience. 2-0 goes the count. The 2-0 pitch is almost in the same spot, taken for ball 3, so quickly, 3-0 the count on Justin McLean. And McLean had a grand slam last year, one of only 3 players for the Twisters who have hit a grand slam in the history of the team. As the 3-0 pitch is taken, fastball, strike 1. 3-1 goes the count on McLean. Shade is creeping up on the right side of the field. Pitcher's mound's in the shade. The kick and the pitch from Harrison is swung and fouled near the third base dugout, foul territory.
Harrison throwing 2 or 3 very good fastballs in this at-bat to Justin McLean. Before the game, Swingle telling me that Harrison throws what they call a heavy fastball. Not really a term I've heard before. We'll explain more about it after this next pitch.
So Brian Harrison on the mound to face McLean. The full count pitch is swung and a bouncer. Picking it up on the second hop is the shortstop LaRoche. He fires down the first. Hendricks got it. 1 down.
And the Keene manager Swingle telling me that from a catcher standpoint, when you catch Harrison's fastball, it comes in and it almost feels as if it's a bowling ball, that it's so heavy.
That's true.
Right? It must be very tough to hit from the hitter's standpoint.
He has been using that fastball a lot, as you said, as Lee Lipschutz is the batter, the Twisters left fielder. Brian Harrison, first pitch to him, is taken for a strike. About to show bunt there was Lipschutz, but he held back, but the pitch was still called strike 1. Third baseman Baker is right on the edge of the grass near third base there, playing shallow. The rest of the infielders playing fairly back. Very deep is the left fielder, LaHare. Brian Harrison, the 1 pitch is inside, a little bit. Oh no, that was a ball, 1 inside.
And that was an example of one of those heavy fastballs. For those of you technical guys thinking baseball terms, it's more of a 2-seam fastball.
1-1 pitch from Harrison, swung on, bouncer, foul, down the corner on the third base side. Way down in the corner for Lee Lipschutz. Mike Sokol's on deck. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Lee Lipschutz. Bottom of the second inning, no score. Very nice night here. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch from Harrison is a fastball taken low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Lipschutz back in there. Lipschutz comes in at .259. He has 7 hits on the season. The pitch is fastball low, ball 3. Count goes full on him.
This is the second straight batter in the inning that the Keene starter Harrison has gone 3-2 to.
And the payoff pitch from Harrison is a bouncer, chop, slow bouncer to the third baseman. Baker comes way in, throws. Off the bag goes Hendricks, but he turns and tags out Lipschutz for out number 2.
That ball being hit off the end of the bat, Baker having to charge in and throw across his body. Throw was a little bit high, but good job by the keen first baseman, Trey Hendricks, to step off the bag and tag the runner, Lipschutz.
So with 2 out here in the second, that brings up Mike Sokol, the Twisters' first baseman tonight. Sokol is a left-hand batter, steps in there. Sokol hitting 174. He has 4 hits on the season. First pitch to him is well outside for ball 1. 1-0. Sokol up there with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch bounces off the glove of the catcher, Durhack. That's ball 2. A little bit outside. As Sokol adjusts his gloves, and he's back in there. Jordan Zarnicki's on deck. The kick and the 2-0 pitch is outside, ball 3. Little bit low. We have 2 outs. Infielders back to normal position. Harrison kicked the pitch, and that's a called strike, outside corner, fastball. 3-1. 3-ball, 1-strike pitch from Harrison is swung and hit hard, but foul right down third base, way down the corner there. Rolling all the way down there, well in the corner.
Well, now Harrison has thrown 16 pitches by my count in the inning. 12 of them have been balls. Struggling a little bit here in the second.
Full count on Sokol. And the payoff pitch is fouled on the edge of the screen behind home plate. Count remains full on Sokol with 2 outs. And one of the Twisters coaches goes out and gives a new set of baseballs to the home plate umpire.
Manager Greg Hunt taking a night off on the coaching the third base box. He's got both his coaches out there doing the honors here this evening.
Home plate umpire dusts off home plate, and now Sokol's back in the batter's box. Left-handed hitter. Brian Harrison on the mound looks in for the sign. He sets the kick, and the 3-2 pitch is hit in the air, foul, way down in the corner on the third base side. Way down there. Whole bunch of little kids go running down there to get it. Count still full, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the second inning, no score.
Still 3-2 to the batter, Mike Sokol.
A long look in for the sign from Brian Harrison. And the payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. So a 2-out walk drawn by Mike Sokol.
A little bit low on that payoff pitch by Harrison. Good job of framing the ball by the keen catcher, Andy Durhack, but caught it with the square of his glove, trying to see it and trying to paint that picture that he hit the outside corner, but he just did not get the call.
Exactly, and that'll bring up Jordan Zarnicki with 2 outs and a runner on first. Zarnicki, the center fielder, bats right-handed. His second season with the team. Zarnicki, first pitch to him is swung, a chopper, bouncer. High bouncer bounces past the third baseman, Baker, but picked up by the shortstop, LaRoche. The throw down to first is not in time.
Well, really, we'll have to wait for the official scoring on that one, but that was the ball that got by the third baseman, and they always teach you to back up the ball, and usually that's not a play in which you would expect the shortstop to come in and back up the third baseman, but he did a great job in that. Just did not get the runner in time.
So Zarnicki down at first base.
It's ruled a hit.
That is a hit. Okay. So Wick Udy will be the batter. He makes his way to the batter's box. He's the catcher for the Twisters tonight. Runners on first and the second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Udy comes in with 1 hit on the season, limited playing time. He has 11 at-bats. He steps out, takes a couple of practice swings. Now he's back in there. Runners take their leads, Zarnicki and Sokol. No real intense holding him on there. First pitch to taken called, strike one on the outside corner of the plate. On deck is Lou Farrell.
Udy just getting here a couple days ago from college. His exams just finished at Oregon State.
Harrison gives double take. He turns and towards second base, no throw. Just keep Sokol on his toes down there. No real play. Nobody was really covering second base anyway.
Really, he just saw the daylight in between the runner leading off second in the bag and stepped off.
0-1 count on Udy. The pitch is hit foul, third base side, well out of play, way down there. Runners take the walk back to the base again. Nice crowd here tonight. Fairly quiet night. Been a quiet day around all day, actually.
The summer heat's getting many folks here up in northwestern Connecticut.
No score. Brian Harrison looks in for the sign from the catcher. 0-2 count on Wick Udy. The kick and the 0-2 pitch is well outside and low for ball one. Count goes 1-2 on Udy. Wick Udy from Oregon State University, a native of Brigham City, Utah. So Harrison looking in for the sign. Zarnicki down at first base takes a long lead, and Sokol down at second base. And the 1-2 pitch is swung foul, third base side. Well out of play. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes on Udy.
Well, we were talking before in the last half inning how Torrington starter Tim Rice was able to get out of that bases loaded jam. What a confidence booster it would be for Keene starter Brad Harrison to get out of this runner at first and second, some pseudo jam here in the second inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bottom of the second. Twisters threatening with 2 runners. The 1-2 pitch is way outside. Count goes even on Udy. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The catcher Durhack actually had to take a step to his left to catch that ball, and he was way outside, nowhere even close, and now the count evens at 2-2.
Keene with 2 hits so far. Twisters have 1 hit on the night through 2 innings. We're in the bottom of the second. The 2-2 pitch is taken a little bit low for ball 3. Just low, a little close. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Wick Udy. Crowd getting into it here.
Again, a little bit of a low strike zone by the home plate umpire. Pitchers are going to have to adjust.
Brian Harrison takes a look back at second base. He kicks, delivers the payoff pitch. That's taken high for ball 4. So 2 walks drawn. Now by Udy, the second walk of the inning. Bases loaded. That was a long at-bat. A lot of foul balls by Wick Udy. It made Harrison struggle a little bit. So Sokol down on third base. Zarnicki on second base. And Udy on first base now for Lou Farrell.
And with 2 outs here in the second, the Twisters coaching staff sending both runners at first and second on that payoff pitch. So they were in motion and had a good lead to get to second and third base by the time the payoff pitch sent Wick Udy over to first with a walk.
The coach came out to have a conference on the mound with Harrison. So they're discussing a few matters out there with the catcher, Durhack. And now he's on his way back to the dugout.
Head coach Paul Swingle just taking a few quick moments to calm down his starter out there.
So Lou Farrell, who will be the batter, is coming into the game at 160 clip. He has 4 hits on the season, scored a run, has a double. Drove in 2 runs so far. So Harrison on the mound, checks the runner at third. He kicks, delivers. First pitch to Farrell is well outside, a little bit high, ball 1.
And, of course, Farrell, the hero from last night's game, 2 outs in the 8th, dropped a runner at third. A squeeze play put on by the Twisters coaching staff. He dropped one down. The winning run scored.
From Sam Houston State, Farrell is. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball taken high outside for ball 2. Really heard the catcher's glove smack on that one.
It's got some juice.
So Farrell, the number 9 hitter up there with a 2-0 count. 2 outs, bases loaded. Harrison's kick delivered high bouncer to the first baseman. Hendricks takes it on the first hop, and he takes it unassisted for the third out. So unfortunately, 3 runners left on base for a ground out to end the inning to the first baseman. So at the end of 2 complete innings, no score from Fusich Park between the Torrington Twisters and the Keene Swamp Bats. Both have threatened, and both pitchers have been able to get out of it.
Very interesting second inning. Of course, we were talking before about Rice getting that bases loaded jam, a walk, really just loaded the bases and did not have his control and was able to actually battle back out of that and got the number 9 hitter from Keene, Jeff Berry, to grind it to a fielder's choice, 6-4, the shortstop over to the second baseman, and of course that ended the top half of the second.
Back to the top of the order here in the third. Rocky Baker, Matt Carullo, and Brendan Gilligan are the scheduled 3 here, the top 3 batters of their order to face Tim Rice. Rocky Baker's 0 for 1. He grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat in the first inning. Baker is a right-hand batter. Steps in there, drags the bat across home plate. Now he's got it up and taking a few practice swings. Sun's behind a cloud right now. Rice kicks, delivers, first pitch, hard hit ball, line drive, snagged by the shortstop, Lou Farrell, diving play, and that's 1 out.
Outstanding play by Farrell. A little fly ball that just hit off the end of the bat. It was dropping down to the ground, and Farrell got a quick jump and dove to his right and made that play look easy.
Yeah, you got. Rice kicked the pitch and inside portion of the strike zone. I call it strike 2. 2 close pitches there on the Carullo, but
getting the call.
Yeah, 0-2. That's a help to the Twisters, a hindrance to the Keene Swamp Bats. As the 0-2 pitch from Rice is taken low for a ball. They're appealing down to first base. And let me see what the call is. No, it's a called strike 3.
Well, Carullo checked his swing on the ball in the dirt,
right,
and the Twister catcher, Udi, pointed to the first base umpire. First base umpire immediately called him out, and I believe Carullo's argument was that the third base umpire probably would have been a better one to make that call.
Right, I saw him check his swing, but I heard the home plate umpire say ball, so right away I figured, as the first pitch to Brendan Gilligan is taken a little bit high for ball 1.
Right, because that check swing went over the left side of the plate, and you got the first base umpire over on the first base line. It's understandable to see Carullo's argument.
Rice's pitch to the left-hander is a hard hit ball, but foul way down in the corner on the third base side. Gilligan's 0 for 1, grounded back to the pitcher in the first inning. Gilligan's the designated hitter for the Keene Swamp Bats, batting right-handed. He's back in there. It's Tim Rice on the mound. Looks in for the signs from the catcher, Wick Udi. Most of the fielders playing in normal positions. Rice's 1-1 pitch is high outside, snagged by Udi behind the plate, ball 2. Scoreless game. We're in the top of the third. Tim Rice on the mound. His 2-1 pitch to Gilligan is fouled behind the plate. Okay. Gilligan comes into the game at 238. He has 5 hits on the season. A little bit of allergies coming in there. That's why I kind of disappeared there for a second. So Brendan Gilligan up there with 2-2 count. Swung on a little chopper foul down the third base line. Rolling over there. McLean picks it up and just tosses it back. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Brian LaHare on deck.
Torrington trying to get Keene to go 1-2-3 for the second time this game. They went in order in the first.
Rice sets the kick, the pitch, swung, and chopper foul on the behind home plate. A little roller there. They throw a new ball out, Tim Rice. Again, Gilligan's 0 for 1. He bends his knees a lot in his stance, has a bent stance. Inside pitch is taken for ball 3, 3-2. Count goes full on him. Gilligan from Georgia Southern, native of Powder Springs, Georgia. Tim Rice looks in for the sign, and the payoff pitch is swung, popped up straight back into the grandstand behind home plate. Count remains full.
That ball dropping just in front of the fan entrance at Fusenage Park. Almost got a couple innocent fans, caught them off guard, and dropped right in front of them.
Tim Rice, look, payoff pitch is high outside, take, no, that's a call, strike 3. That surprised me a little bit, but strike 3 on Gilligan. That was a tricky pitch. Maybe, I think that pitch had a lot of movement on it. That looked like it was going way outside, but I think it curved right back over the outside portion of the plate.
A little bit of a delay there as Gilligan really just stood there, dumbfounded at the call.
He looked straight up at the sky in amazement, but 3 outs as the end of 2.5 innings. No score from Fusenage Park between the Torrington Twisters and the Keene Swamp Bats. Well, tomorrow's game will be away against Mill City, 5 o'clock start. Then the next home game will be on Sunday, June 23rd, against Newport, and that'll be Colebrook school night. Let's see what the kids from Colebrook are up to, evidently.
Great night with getting the groups out here. We had church night last night here at the ballpark. Upcoming Torrington Middle School night. Great night for the kids.
First pitch to Blake Justice is showed bunt, but taken for ball 1. That was an outside pitch. Justice is 0 for 1, a ground out to shortstop back in the first. Justice is a left-hand batter. On deck is John Cronin. We're back to the top of the order. Bottom of the third. Pitch is swung on, foul straight back behind home plate. Count goes even, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Brian Harrison on the mound. About even performances so far by both pitchers, Tim Rice and Harrison. Both of them got into a little bit of trouble one inning, got out of it. Still have a shutouts going here in the third inning. Roughly the same amount of hits given up. The 1-1 pitch is taken inside corner fastball, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Justice. And that was a close play with Justice back in the first inning. That was a ground ball, and that must have been to the second baseman then. I must have this wrong in my scorebook. The 1-2 pitch is swung on past the diving third baseman Baker into left field for a base hit. So a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third by Justice.
Good job of placing the ball by Justice just past the glove of the diving third baseman, Rocky Baker, for these Keene Swamp Bats. And, of course, that undoubtedly comes from the fact that manager Greg Hunt works on these guys hitting, which throws out a situation in batting practice and says, poke it here, poke it there. You just saw the results of that right there.
So the runner on first, that'll bring up John Cronin, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1. A ground out. Justice takes his lead. The pitch is bunted, popped foul halfway down the third base line. Giving chase is Baker. Can't quite get there. He tried to get that before it hit the ground.
Well, really a good idea by Hunt to send the speedy leadoff hitter Blake Justice from first to second on that sacrifice. Cronin just unfortunately was not able to get it down from the Torrington standpoint.
0-1 count on Cronin. Again, Cronin coming into the game at .429 and 7 at-bats, 3 hits in the first week and a half or so of the season. So Justice on first takes his lead with nobody out. Harrison looks in for the sign. He sets the kick. The pitch to Cronin, bunted, popped up right back to the pitcher's mound, taken by Harrison for the out.
Really, and just a poor job of executing by Cronin. That's the second opportunity he had to bunt. The infield was in. Third baseman Rocky Baker knew he was going to bunt it. Perhaps maybe Cronin looked at that and said, maybe I'll poke one down the first baseline, but nonetheless he didn't execute, and now Torrington has a runner at first with 1 out rather than having a runner at second.
Brandon Roberts digs in with 1 out and a runner on first. Justice takes off. The first pitch taken, but then the throw down to second base, and they got Justice trying to steal. That was close. Justice got down there in a hurry, but the nice throw by the catcher Durhack to get him for out number 2.
It was an outside pitch. Durhack took a step out and just threw a bullet about ankle high to his second baseman Carullo. Nothing you can do about that. Good throw.
So the pitch was a ball, and the pitch to Roberts is swung on and missed for a strike. Big swing by Roberts. Counts 1-1. Roberts came into the game at .250, at 7 hits on the season. 3 runs batted in. And he's back in there.
And the interesting note after this pitch.
Swung on and fouled. Third base side out of play.
Durack leads this Keene Swamp Bats ball club with 50 putouts. He's been a close man behind the a busy man behind the plate, as no other teammate even comes close in defensive statistics with him.
Roberts from the University of Michigan steps back in there with a 1-2 count, and Harrison kicks, delivers, foul on the screen behind home plate. Count remains 1-2 on Roberts. Roberts, another 2-time Twister, joined the team last year in 2001 and has returned again this year. He's a good, steady player. And the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch from Harrison is taken low for a ball. Count goes even, 2-2 with 2 out. Roberts struck out in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1. He's a designated hitter tonight. The pitch is outside swing and popped up to left field near the foul line. Making the catch is LaHare for out number 3, maybe a couple feet in front of the foul line on the third base side in left field. So, no score. The end of 3 complete innings between the Torrington Twisters and the Keene Swamp Bats. 2 hits apiece, no runs. So Brian LaHare, Andy LaRoche, and Brett Ouellette, the scheduled 3 here in the top of the 4th. And here's John's going to carry us through the next 3 with the play-by-play.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. 4, 5, and 6 leading off for this Keene Swamp Bats ball club here in the 4th. No score. We've had a pitching duel up to this point. 2 pitchers getting into both into trouble, into jams in the second innings, and able to work out of it. And that's where we stand right now, with the line score being 0, 2, and 0 for the visiting team. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. The same for Torrington. And up to the plate right now is the left fielder for this Keene Swamp Bats ball club, Brian LaHare.
And LaHare drew a walk in his first at-bat in the second.
LaHare cocking the bat towards the pitcher, Rice. Into the windup, the first pitch, and low for ball 1. It's now 1-0.
LaHare came into the game with 7 hits on the season and 2 runs batted in.
Into the windup is Rice. The second pitch, little curveball hit off the end of the bat to the shortstop, Farrell. Lou picks it up and fires across the diamond to Sokol for the first out of the 4th.
That's a smooth operating Farrell at shortstop.
But an even smoother curveball by Rice. A little curve dropped into the end of the bat by LaHare, poked it down to the shortstop on the left side, and that's how they got 1 away. Now Rice, shaking off his catcher, Udi, now gets the one he likes into the windup. First pitch to Andy LaRoche is inside for a ball. It's 1-0 to LaRoche.
LaRoche is 1 for 1. He had a single in his first at-bat.
The 1-0 pitch fouled back in to the netting on the right side and out of play. Count now evens at 1-1. LaRoche getting all the way back to third base in that second inning. That's when Keene had the best threat to score with the bases loaded, but didn't do it. Now the 1-1 pitch, foul little number back and out of play to the left side, past the Keene dugout. Count now being 1 ball, 2 strikes. And now the home plate umpire will take a moment just to wipe off the plate. And now we come set here with the 1-2 pitch upcoming. The freshman Rice, Connecticut kid, into the windup. The 1-2 pitch sails low for ball 2. Count now 2-2. Now the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed by the shortstop LaRoche. It's in the dirt. Catcher Wick Udi fires over to first to complete the play. And there's 2 up and 2 down here in the 4th.
Now batting number 7, Brett.
Yeah, 2 quick outs for Tim Rice. He's pitching pretty smoothly so far in this game. Your first over 3 innings of the game.
Brings up Brad Ouellette right now, the right fielder. Brantford, Connecticut native on the mound for the Twisters. To the windup. First pitch, little breaking ball sails inside. Ouellette had to turn out of the way to avoid being hit on that pitch. It's 1-0. And now working quickly. Here's the second offering. Another curveball. This time hits the outside corner. It's called the ball again. Count now 2-0.
You're listening to the World of Arts People Enjoy. 89.9 WAPJ FM, Nutmeg Conservatory Broadcasting in Torrington.
The 2-0 pitch is lined sharply to right field. John Cronin, Rice's teammate at the University of Richmond, makes the catch. And 1-2-3 do the Swamp Bats go here in the 4th. We've played 3.5 from Fusenage Park. The score, Torrington 0, Keene 0 on 89.9 WAPJ. Keene starter Brian Harrison just finishing up his warm-up tosses as we get set to head to the Torrington half of the 4th inning. Middle 3 of the Twisters lineup up. Justin McLean now, the third baseman. Cleanup hitter strolls to the plate. McLean grounded out to the Keene shortstop Andy LaRoche in his first at-bat. That was back in the 2nd inning. Now he just is about 5 feet away from the batter's box, adjusts his batting gloves, and stepping in, waiting to take the first pitch. Harrison comes set, winds, and delivers. First pitch fastball inside corner for a strike, 0-1. McLean, the 3-year veteran of this Torrington Twisters team, now plays at the University of Georgia during the year. Second offering, a pretty good location inside corner, but that missed low. It's now 1-1, probably about a 6-inch difference between pitches. That's the difference between a ball and a strike. The 1-1 pitch, curveball hits the outside corner. Count now is now at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Harrison's pretty tricky out there. His pitches are right on the edge, as you said.
Living on the corners. Now the 1-2 pitch to McLean. Hit on the line over the glove of the jumping third baseman Rocky Baker and into left field. McLean will make the turnaround first. Think about heading towards second, but hold up. And he has a leadoff hit here in the first. Good piece of hitting.
Yeah, perfect. Right down there, third base corner.
Number 23, Lee.
Now Lee Lipschitz gets his second chance to take his hacks at the Keene starter Harrison.
Lipschutz from Stony Brook University, native of Plainville, New York.
First pitch hit on the ground on the air in between third and the shortstop and into left field. First pitch single by Lipschitz. And now the Twisters have something going here. First and second, no outs here in the 4th.
2 straight singles very quickly. Almost in the same spot.
First one over the glove of Baker at third. Second one, a little blooper off the end of the bat in between LaRoche at short and Baker at third. Both the left field. Now Harrison comes set, looks at second, takes a second look. First pitch, squaring to bunt is Sokol. It's a good one. Down to the pitcher clears and fires that over to the first for the out. Good sacrifice. Runners move up to second and third on the play. That's just textbook baseball right there.
Yeah, that bunt literally went halfway between home plate and the pitcher's mound where Harrison picked it up and fired it down. He had no play anywhere else. Runners moving. So McLean down at third base and Lipschutz down at second.
Jordan Zarnicki now, the center fielder, 1 for 1 in his first at-bat. He had a single in the second.
Infielders playing very shallow, keeping the runners in mind also. Just 1 out.
Not wanting to concede anything. The first pitch Outside corner, a little bit low. It's ball 1.
Also, occasional bunt attempt, too, in this situation. Only one out. You never know. But that's...
Absolutely, or a guy like Zarnicki may want to try and poke one over the infielder's head into the outfield. Now calls time. The pitcher, Harrison, wanting to collect his thoughts.
Zarnicki's from the University of Tennessee. Anderson, Indiana native. Predominantly center field his 2 seasons here.
The 1-0 pitch sails inside, and now it's 1-1. Harrison missing, trying to get that fastball over. And really for Zarnicki, a guy who has a 276 average, he's been starting off slow, only 8 hits this year. The 2-0 pitch is a fastball. It hits the... goes right down the heart of the plate for the strikes. So the count is now 2-1.
And Zarnicki had an injury for the majority of last year, and again this year hoping to see him at his full potential, at his best throughout 2002.
That's interesting you bring up that point, Jeremy. A guy who got an injury last night, he was hit on the hand with a pitch, is standing at third base right now for the Twisters. Justin McLean, second and third, no score, bottom half of the 4th. The 2-0 pitch is grounded, the 2-1 pitch is grounded foul down the left field line and just about 6 inches to the left of the third base line, foul. So the count now evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Zarnicki came into the game at 276 with 8 hits on the season, 3 doubles.
Now with the Twisters threatening in the home half of the 4th, it'll be a 2-2 upcoming to Zarnicki. Harrison comes set. The kick and the pitch. Check swing, fastball, called strike 3. Zarnicki sits down. It's the second out of the inning for Torrington.
Number 15, Wick Beauty.
Well, Harrison got Zarnicki with some tricky pitches, but still 2 runners on with 2 outs now.
Check swing. Zarnicki looked back at the catcher and appeared to look at the home plate umpire, but deep down he knew that was called strike 3. So now it's up to the newest Twisters edition, Wick Udy.
Udy out of Oregon State University, native of Brigham City, Utah. Throws, bats left-handed, throws right-handed.
First pitch is a fastball. It sails in there for a ball, 1-0. Udy, a guy who really has just been a victim in the baseball season because of where he goes to school. Oregon State going on trimesters. Academic schedules in the 3rd of the year. They finished up late just a week ago. The 1-0 pitch, fastball outside corner for a strike. Count now 1-1. Udy just finishing up exams within the last 10 days. And, of course, he had to pack his bags and come east. So Wick with an average in the 100s trying to work off a little bit of rust here in the 4th. The pitch, check swing, fastball. The appeal down to the second base umpire. He's ruled safe. Does not swing, and now the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's the second appeal of the game down to another umpire. Usually that's not too common. A lot of close-looking plays in this game. Close calls, a little more than usual.
Absolutely. And now the 2-1 pitch with 2 runners in scoring position. Comes set, outside, nowhere close, and now the count evens at count goes to 3 balls, 1 strike. Hitters count now. Pitcher Harrison forced to throw something somewhat close for Udy to hit, as he does not want to walk the bases loaded with 2 outs here in the game. 2 outs here in the inning. Now the 3-1 pitch. Outside and high, ball 4. The bases are now juiced.
Twisters would like to scrape a couple of those runs in, but they do have 2 outs once again, and both teams have threatened, and in spite of all the base runners, there's still no score. So Twisters would like to get McLean in and perhaps all of them in right here in the bottom of the fourth.
And you got the guy who probably has the best luck with runners in scoring position tonight, Lou Farrell. Came up with the bases loaded in the second, grounded out to the first baseman. Now the bases loaded here in the fourth. Into the windup and the first pitch from Harrison. Outside fastball paints the corner for strike one. Harrison looking at that pitch. Now has a good read on the Keene starter, Brad Harrison. The 0-1 pitch is a little curveball, sails in there for a strike. It's 0-2 now to Lou Farrell.
Farrell out of Sam Houston State, native of Huntsville, Texas.
And now Lou taking his sweet time getting back into the dugout. We had a little bit of a ball right next to the right field line. The Keene right fielder Brad Ouellette having to come over and throw that back into foul territory. And so now Farrell steps into the box, cocks his bat towards the Keene starter Harrison. It'll be an 0-2 upcoming. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss in the ground. Strike three. He's tagged on by the catcher, Andy Durhack, and it's the final out of the Twisters' fourth inning. The Twisters threaten but do not score. No runs on 2 hits with no errors, and they leave the bases loaded. We've played 4 complete. From Fusnich Park here in Torrington, the score remains Torrington 0, Keene 0 on the World of Arts People Enjoy, 89-9 WAPJ. And 7, 8, and 9 is here for the Keene Swamp Bats as we go to the top half of the 5th inning. No score. A little bit of an interesting scoreboard tonight. Only 6 hits in the game. This, of course, coming after Torrington scored 6 last night against Thread City and 4 the night before. So really a good pitcher and an unusually good pitcher for Keene, a kid who's making a spot start, coming out to relieve the aching bullpen, Brad Harrison. He's been shutting Torrington down. And, of course, the man on the mound right now for the Twisters, Tim Rice, has been equally tough against this Keene Swamp Bats lineup.
Yeah, Rice has been a nice surprise in his first actual outing of the season.
First pitch by Rice to the first baseman, Tim Hendricks, hits the ground and up into the glove of Udi for a ball. It's 1-0.
Hendricks, a sophomore at Harvard.
And now the windup and the 1-0 pitch hitting the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Starting to see Rice develop into somewhat of a rhythm using that fastball effectively. Now the 1-1 pitch, curveball, swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Good job of mixing those pitches up, and he's doing right what his manager Greg Hunt said, using that fastball to set up the off-speed stuff. Now the 1-2 pitch, upcoming. Curveball, inside corner. Hendricks looks at a strike 3. It's the first strikeout of the game, the first strikeout of the inning, 4th of the game for Rice. And so now Alex Durak up at the plate, the catcher. First pitch from the left-hander Rice, upcoming. Squares the bunt but pulls back, taken inside for a ball. Count now 1 ball, no strikes. Coming to you live from a cool and comfortable Fusnich Park in Torrington. The 0-1 pitch is hit in the air high, but not too deep as the Torrington center fielder Zarnicki comes in to make the catch, and there are 2 up, 2 down in the 5th.
Just a typical fly ball there. Zarnicki comes in a little bit and grabs it.
Keene in danger of going 1-2-3 for the 3rd straight inning against this kid, Tim Rees, the freshman pitcher on the mound. Makes his home at the 8 months out of the year at the University of Richmond. Into the windup, the first pitch to the number 9 hitter, Jeff Berry. Berry scoring the bunt, but pulling back for a ball. And now the catcher, Wick Udi, points to the first baseman and makes the appeal. And the first baseman puts his fist down, so it's called a strike. Berry was called as going. So the count is now 0-1 to the center fielder for Keene tonight. And the 0-1 pitch down the heart of the plate for strike two. It's 0-2. Good pitch, off-speed stuff. The bottom just dropped out of that one. Now it'd be interesting to see what Rice comes back with. We're here with the 0-2. It's a fastball high, but outside. And so now the count jumps to 1-2.
Well, Rice with 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th. Middle infielders playing deep. Their heels right on the edge of the grass, the beginning of the outfield.
The 1-2 pitch upcoming. Little curveball taken above the knees for a ball, came in just high. And so the count now evens here at 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball outside corner, same location, a little bit knee high. Does not get the call. Now the count goes full at 3-2. Barry at the plate for the Keene Swamp Bats, trying to break a scoreless tie here in the 5th. The payoff pitch from Rice. Swung on and missed. Fastball, he just swung over that one. It's the second strikeout of the inning, and Rice has sat down the Keene Swamp Bats hitters for the 3rd straight inning. 1-2-3. Nothing across, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're halfway home from Fusenich Park. The score remains Torrington nothing, Keene nothing on 89.9 WAPJ.
So we enter the bottom of the 5th.
And top half of the lineup, 1-2-3 for the Twisters. Blake Justice, John Cronin, and Brandon Roberts. And so now Justice, the kid from Lamar University,
Number 3, Blake
second baseman,
Justice.
1 for 2 on the night. Takes in batting from the left side of the plate. Now the starter Harrison out for his 5th inning of work into the windup and the first pitch. Fastball painting the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 to Blake Justice. Good way of setting the tone early for this. This the start of the second half of the game for these 2 ball clubs. The 0-1 pitch missed low. Now the count evens at 1-1.
Justice out of Lamar University.
And speedy second baseman, leadoff hitter tonight for the Twisters. 1-1 pitch fouled back and out of play, out of the park here at Torrington. Hitting the buildings in the Torrington Plaza, the back end of the buildings. Of course, they're facing action here at Fusenich Park and very close to the play. See the whole flock of kids trying to get on over to the other side of the fence here at Fusenich Park. And now the 1-2 pitch is outside and away. Count now evens at 2-2.
Well, the foul ball is second to none in popularity in most ballparks.
Goes without saying. Now the 2-2 pitch upcoming from Harrison. Inside corner, swung on and hit over the glove of the diving second baseman Matt Carullo, and into center field. It'll be a leadoff single for Blake Justice. Good piece of hitting. He got jammed on the inside part of the bat. Now he's at first base.
John Cronin.
That's what the table setter does. Nice little single. Runner on first, nobody out.
And really, had Carullo gotten a better jump on that, he could have made less of an ill-timed jump and really just snagged that one out of the air. Not hit very hard. A little, what I would like to call a nubber off the end of the bat. Brings up John Cronin, the right fielder now. Throw over to first, nothing going as Justice gets back safely. Cronin is another Connecticut boy in this Torrington Twisters team. Squares the bunt on the first pitch. It's hit off the ground and bouncing fair on the first base territory. The catcher Durhack throws over to first and gets Cronin, who goes. The sacrifice goes 2-3. Justice going down to second base on that sacrifice bunt, and really Cronin sort of saving face a little bit. He was up with Justice on at first in the third inning, missed 2 times to try and drop one down, and eventually popped both chances up. The second offering officially popped up into the glove of the pitcher Harrison, and he threw over to first. Cronin not being able to do his job, but he did so on that play. First pitch, Brandon Roberts hit on the ground through the right side and into the outfield. Rounding third and going home is Blake Justice for the first run of the game for Torrington. A great single by Brandon Roberts through the hole on the right side. The keen right fielder Brad Ouellette being slow to charge the ball, and the coaches down at third base sending Justice all the way, realizing that he had tremendous speed, and as a result, it's 1-0 Torrington here in the 5th.
Yeah, slowed up on the grass a little bit and took a while for it to get to him, but also the speed of Justice came into play there as he came all the way from second, came in to score. No chance at home plate.
Justice not even hesitating rounding third base. He was going all the way. And so now here the cleanup hitter, Justin McLean, is at the plate with a runner at first, 1 down. Big swing and a miss on a first pitch off speed stuff by the Keene starter Harrison. So now it's 0-1. McLean swinging for the fences on the first offering. And now the 0-1 pitch hit on the ground to the third baseman, Rocky Baker, and past his glove. Baker had to charge that. It was a little bit of an infield hit, really dying, and then at the last second took a hop off the grass here and bounced over his glove, and luckily his shortstop LaRoche backed him up, but really no play, no chance whatsoever to get the runner at first. Roberts on the play going to second.
That looked a little like the play earlier, and they did not rule that an error. So I think that third baseman did that before. Something similar to that, it got by him.
It was ruled a hit. It was ruled a hit, and now this one ruled a hit too. So runners at first and second with 1 out. First pitch to Lee Lipschitz. Swung on a miss for a strike. Lee's now looking at an 0-1 count. Here's a pitch, a little curveball dropped on the inside corner, but low. It was in the dirt. Count is now 1-1. Lipschitz, one of the heroes of last night's game. He scored the winning run in the 8th against Thread City. And now the 1-1 pitch taken inside and low. Count now going to 2 balls, 1 strike. It's 1-0. 1-0 Torrington. Twisters breaking a scoreless tie here in the 5th. The 2-1 pitch is inside, and now it was a 2-1 pitch inside. Now the count evens to 3-1. Hitters count, and with 1 out in the inning, Harrison can't afford to throw anything as a ball. Shakes off the first sign from his catcher. Now the second pitch he wanted was fouled back and out of play. So Brian Harrison in a little bit of a better shape now as the count goes full to Lipschitz.
Harrison would like to see a double play ball. That would help him out of this. He's got 1 out.
Infield, medium length. Swung on and hit on the ground to the third baseman. Baker fires across his body and over to first. Good play as it was hit off the bat. That was the only play they had to first base. There's 2 down in the inning. On the play, runners advancing. McLean advances to second. Roberts to third. 2 runners in scoring position for the number 6 hitter tonight, Mike Sokol.
That's what Twisters wanted to see. Now the runners are closer to home plate, as you said. Another sacrifice hit. But there's 2 out.
Sokol 0 for 1. First official at-bat came in the 4th when he grounded out to the pitcher Harrison. He walked in the 2nd. Now wind up and the first pitch fouled back and out of play to the netting here at Fusenich Park. Count is now 0-1. Again, if you're just joining us here on 89.9 WAPJ, the game was scoreless until the Twisters half of the 5th inning when they broke the scoreless tie with a run. That's where we stand right now. Pitch is hit on the ground to the shortstop. LaRoche fires over to first for the final out of the inning. Torrington is retired in the 5th, but not before scoring the first run of the game. 1 run on 3 hits with no errors and 2 runners left on base. 5 complete from Fustage Park. Torrington breaking the scoreless tie. It's 1-0 Twisters over the Keene Swamp Bats on WAPJ. And so we go to the top of the 6th inning here at Fustage Park with the first 3, the 1-2-3 batters for the Keene Swamp Bats trying to dig themselves out of the 1-0 hole against Torrington starter Tim Rice. Rice, the youngster, just completed his freshman year at the University of Richmond, has only allowed 2 hits against this Keene Swamp Bats ball club. Collectively, they have not been too successful against Rice. And now Rocky Baker, third baseman, 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch from Rice into the lineup, high and outside for a ball. Baker playing third base during the school year for Georgia Southern, helped guide the ball club to the NCAA Regionals. Now the 1-0 pitch inside for a ball. And of course, really today, the matchup out in Omaha in the College World Series that would determine who was going to go to the championship game. Of course, that was Clemson and South Carolina. Now the 2-0 pitch outside, a little bit low for a ball. Of course, Torrington missing a couple of guys on that ball club. Still playing out in Omaha. The 3-0 pitch is inside and low, and so now Baker is on first base with a leadoff walk here in the 6th.
Robert Valente is from Clemson. He's on his way. And Garrick Evans. 2 players.
Evans, a youngster. Word on this kid is he had great hands, a little bit raw. Great baseball family, though. His cousin is Yankees outfielder Rondell White. As Rice threw over to first base, checked the runner, nothing going on that. And now the first pitch to Matt Carullo upcoming. Carullo squaring the bunt, making no hint about his intentions. Squares in. The runner Rice hops right off the mound, fires over to the second baseman for Torrington. Blake Justice coming. Textbook defense by the Twisters as Mike Sokol, the first baseman, and McLean at third converge down to the play. Justice going over to take the throw. And so now that's a sacrifice all the way as Baker goes to second on the sack. 2-4, the put out on Carullo. Brings up Brendan Gilligan. First pitch by Rice, inside and in the dirt, and it gets by the catcher, Udi. It actually bounced to Udi's left, and Udi picked up the ball, looked directly towards third, but did not get... Gets the first strike of the at-bat. It's 2 balls, 1 strike to the designated hitter, Gilligan. Gilligan 0 for 2 tonight. And now the 2-0 pitch, curveball, same location, outside corner. Count now evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good pitch. Taken all the way by Gilligan.
Infielders playing shallow on Gilligan in this situation.
First and second baseman about 3 steps away from the infield grass. The 2-2 pitch, curveball in the dirt, swung on and missed. Gilligan strikes out, first strikeout of the 6th inning for Tim Rice, and it gives him a huge confidence booster as there are now 2 outs in the 6th.
Yeah, you got Gilligan fooled. LaHare is 0 for 1. He also drew a walk in the 2nd.
Gilligan taking the 2nd strike. as a curveball looking fastball and got the curve for the strikeout. Now Brian LaHare, the right fielder. First pitch fastball knee high for a strike. Count now 0-1. LaHare, one of the only guys on this Keene ball club who was drafted, taken in the Major League Baseball amateur draft by Seattle. The 0-1 pitch is high and outside. 1-1. Chose to play this summer in the NECBL. Now he's set and awaiting the 1-1 pitch from Torrington's Tim Rice. Curveball taken inside and high, and now the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. LaHare from Worcester, Massachusetts. His high school basketball coach is a man by the name of J.P. Ricciardi. Ricciardi now the general manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball outside corner for a strike. Count now goes to 2-2. How's that for having connections?
Oh, yeah, that's not too shabby. It's always good to know someone.
Now the man who was already drafted by Seattle looking to add an RBI to his name. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. The runner from third does not score. 2 strikeouts on the inning. Rice looks strong. He sits after Keene has a runner at third base. Rice does not allow him to score. No runs cross the plate. No runs on no hits with no errors and 1 runner stranded at third. 5.5 done from Fustage Park. Torrington, the Slim, 1-0 in the lead over Keene. And the bottom of the 6th upcoming, 7, 8, 9 due up for Torrington. Jordan Zarnicki set the lead off, the center fielder tonight for Torrington. He steps inside into the batter's box here in the 6th. Torrington trying to add to the 1-0 lead against the visiting Keene Swamp Bats. Now the first pitch from Keene starter Brian Harrison swung on and looked to be a little foul, but it's back and out of play. So the count now goes to 0-1 for Zarnicki.
We got perfect temperatures here. This is a really nice night. It was hot earlier today, and it's absolutely perfect tonight for a game.
Very comfortable. The 0-1 pitch hit on the ground to the shortstop LaRoche. Andy had to dive and backhand it and fire over to first base for the out. Zarnicki retired. Ball hit just to in the hole at short. The shortstop LaRoche had to backhand it. Made a pretty good throw across the diamond to the first baseman Hendricks. Trey Hendricks at first had to scoop it out of the ground, and that's why Zarnicki was retired. Nothing you can do on a great defensive play like that. And now the first pitch to Wick Udi, the catcher, sails outside for a ball. Wick a pair of walks on the night. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th. Now the 0-1 pitch and the 1-0 pitch is taken on the outside corner. A little bit high, though. It's called a ball. Is quickly ahead of the count at 2-0. And now Harrison comes set, delivers that heavy fastball. Udi, the left-handed hitting batter, fouled down the left field line. Count now goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. Udi, the catcher, cocking the bat forward towards the pitcher, Harrison. Pitch is outside, and the count is now 3 balls, 1 strike.
Just an early reminder to the fans out there that on the home game on July 25th, which is still well over a month away, but on July 25th against North Adams is Torrington Ford used car giveaway night. They will be giving away a car.
The fastball is hit on a line into the left field. Brian LaHare making the catch for the the second out here in the 6th. As we take a quick break. Quick look down the third base line. There's 1 pitcher warming up in the Torrington bullpen.
The shortstop, number 9,
number 35.
That would be maybe Steve Self. I have 35 for him as a uniform number.
In any event, it looks like the Torrington starter, Tim Rice's night, appears to be done, as the first pitch, Lou Farrell's swung on a miss for a strike. And now the 0-1 upcoming from Brian Harrison. Foul to the left side and out of play. Count quickly goes to 0-2. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Torrington on just a beautiful, cool and comfortable early summer night has a 1-0 lead against the Keene Swamp Bats.
It's the longest day of the year, first day of summer.
Summer equinox.
All right.
The 0-2 pitch is taken on the outside corner a little bit high. Count now goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. And now Udi, ready to take the 1-2 pitch. He hits it on a line over the glove of the jumping Keene second baseman Matt Carullo and into right field. A little bit slow to get on the ball is the right fielder Brad Ouellette and center fielder Jeff Berry, as Farrell takes that and just single and turns it into a double. Good play at heads-up base running by Lou Farrell.
Yeah, he had the wheels going, and he was down a second, sliding in with a double. No play down there. Nice hit by Farrell.
And now you have the top of the lineup now to try and get this second Torrington run in. Blake Justice now. And now the Keene starter, Brian Harrison, takes a step off the mound, is ready to compose his thoughts. Now comes back in from the stretch. Harrison with the glove underneath the belt. Ball behind the back. Now comes set. First pitch to Blake Justice, high and outside, and the Keene catcher, Andy Durack, quickly jumping up. Trying to check and see if Farrell out at second base, who's running on the pitch. He, of course, was not, and now it's 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Another outside fastball. Count quickly goes to 2-0. Almost looks like they're wasting pitches a little bit here in the 6th.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Harrison staying right on the outside corner to the left-handed hitting Justice. Third baseman Rocky Baker is in, waiting to get that ground ball. But the pitch is hit foul and out of play to the bleachers on the third base side. Count now goes to 2 balls, 1 strike.
There's 2 sets of aluminum bleachers just beyond the dugout near the third base side, right in front of the bullpen area for the opposing team. That's right beyond the pitching booth.
And now the 2-1 pitch upcoming to Torrington leadoff hitter Blake Justice. 2-1 pitch, runner goes through on to third. He is called safe.
Well, nice. That was a very close play, but Farrell...
He is called safe by the second base umpire.
Farrell must have got the foot underneath the tag.
Just barely beat the tag.
I mean, from this angle, he disappeared behind the third baseman. You think, well, automatically out, but that must have got the foot right in there.
Tough call in any event by the second base umpire, who had a look at the play from out by second base. And so now the count goes 2 balls, 1 strike with a runner at third. Blake Justice takes the 2-1 pitch and lines it on the ground and into center field. On to score is Lou Farrell, and Torrington takes a 2-0 lead off an RBI single coming from the bat of Blake Justice.
It was Blake Justice that scored the first run. He came around to score back in the 5th. 2-0 score now.
Now batting number 2.
That was off of a single by Justin McLean.
McLean and Justice, the 2 Twisters players who had the lone RBIs here in the game. Count now, the score now 2-0. Torrington, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. And now John Cronin, first pitch curveball sails inside. Cronin having to scamper back out of the way of that one. It's now 1-0.
Both those runs on a result of speed. If Farrell didn't steal that base, he might not have scored just now.
And, of course, Justice had a stolen base in the 5th. Ground ball hit over to Baker at short. Charges, fires over to the second baseman, Carullo, for the final out of the inning. But Torrington adds another one. 1 run on 2 hits with no errors and 1 runner left on base. We've played 6 complete here at Fusnich Park. The score is now Torrington 2, Keene nothing on 89.9 WAPJ. And now as we get set to begin the top of the 7th here at Fusnich Park, with Torrington taking a 2-0 lead against the Keene Swamp Bats, it's my distinct pleasure to turn you over to the man who will be taking you through the remainder of the game, my broadcast partner, Mr. Jeremy Palutro.
All right, thanks, John. So Tim Rice still in the game, finishing his warm-up tosses. He's pitched a nice game. Shutout, actually. Twisters up 2-0 here in the top of the 7th. This is Jeremy Palutro along with John Versteeg from Fusnich Park in Torrington. Andy LaRoche, Brett Ouellette, and Trey Hendricks, the scheduled 3 here. Andy LaRoche is 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Stranded on second in the second inning on that first at-bat single. He's a right-hand batter, steps in to face Tim Rice. Rice sets, kicks, delivers, and pitch is taken, called strike 1. Fastball right down the middle on LaRoche. LaRoche picks up a little bit of dirt and tosses it back, and he steps back in there. The 0-1 pitch from Rice is a little bit inside. Count goes even, 1-1. Call the ball. Ouellette on deck. The 1-1 pitch from Rice is swung, a high bouncer, foul. Third base side, bouncing off the wall just beyond the dugout down there.
You know, watching the home plate umpire, it almost looks as if his strike zone begins at the bottom of the kneecap and goes to about the middle of the shin. The second pitch to LaRoche was called a ball. It was knee-high.
The 1-2 from Rice is taken, called strike 3, looking. So LaRoche down on strikes to lead off the 7th inning. 1 down.
Now batting number 7.
And how about this kid, Rice? His 8th strikeout of the game, just rung up by LaRoche. Got to be a great confidence booster in your first start in summer ball.
First pitch to Brett Ouellette is a fastball, taken, called, ball 1. A little bit low, right over the plate, but low. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was beginning to count the strikeouts, and there you had them. I only got through 3 of them. The 1-0 count on Ouellette, and the pitch is taken inside and low for ball 2, 2-0. Ouellette is 0 for 2. 2 flyouts to right field in both at-bats. Trey Hendricks on deck. Tim Rice kicks, delivers, and pitches swung on, foul in the air, way down in the corner, first base side. One fan makes a catch, barehanded catch right in front of his stomach there. Nice play by the fan out there. I was kind of surprised. I don't know if he's lying down if he's in pain or not, but either way, he made a good catch out there.
Future Twister out there in the right field stands.
Impressed all of his kids who are around him. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Pitch is well outside and a little bit high to Ouellette. Count goes 3-1. Just surprising to see somebody catch it out there. And 1 down. We're in the top of the 7th. Rice kicks, delivers, pitches, swung on and missed. Count goes 3-2. Full count. That was an outside pitch. They got Ouellette to go fishing for it. He couldn't quite get the bat out there to reach it. Ouellette, the right fielder for the Swamp Bats. The payoff pitch is called strike 3. And frustrated Ouellette makes his way back to the dugout. 2 caught looking. 2 strikeouts in a row, making it 9 for Rice. He's going stronger here in the 7th than any other inning before as Trey Hendricks comes up, the first baseman for the Swamp Bats. 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Rice kicks, delivers, swung on and missed for strike 1 on Hendricks.
Rice settling into so much of a rhythm right now. He's just having these keen hitters continually guess at the pitches.
The 0-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2. 2 quick strikes on Hendricks.
His second straight curveball in that one. Hendricks having a tough time picking it up.
Middle infielders playing on the edge of the grass. Outfielders in normal positions. Zarnicki shaded slightly to left. Not really a factor. As Rice on the mound is looking in for the signs from the catcher. He sets the kick. The 0-2 pitch is well outside and a little bit low for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Trey Hendricks. Durhack is on deck. So Tim Rice looks in. He sets the kick. The pitch swung on and missed. And Hendricks pounds the bat against the ground in frustration. For the third out, 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the 7th. Still 2-0 the score. The Torrington Twisters with the lead over the Keene Swamp Bats through 6.5.
New pitcher coming up on here in the top of the 7th inning for the Keene Swamp Bats.
That is Justin Keetle, coming in from Cypress Community College, right-handed pitcher, freshman there, native of Huntington Beach, California. 19 years old, 6'2", 195 pounds.
And the Keene radio team telling me before the game that this kid Kegel just took the red-eye in from Los Angeles last night. Flew into Manchester, got to Keene very late, and turned right around and got up and took probably about a 5.5 to 6 hour bus drive from the northwest part of New Hampshire, where Keene is located, down to Torrington. So it should be interesting to see how this kid will pitch tonight on very little sleep.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Exactly, yeah. Long trip. We're going to take a timeout now for God Bless America. Well, nice job there, as there was for the national anthem before the game. Another young singer there.
The same young lady who sang the national anthem. Did a great job out here in the 7th inning stretch.
Bottom of the 7th now, 2-0 score. Twisters with the lead over the Keene Swamp Bats. Brandon Roberts, Justin McLean, and Lee Lipschutz, the scheduled 3. Roberts is 1 for 2. First pitch to him is low inside. Bounces off the glove of the catcher, Durhack. Tosses a new ball out to Keetle on the mound. 1-0 count. Roberts got a single on his last at-bat. Flied out to left field and struck out. Pitch is a fastball. High bouncer, middle of the infield. Second baseman Carrillo goes over, turns and throws down, and that's out number 1 to get Roberts. Nice range by Carrillo. He had to fly over behind the bag there on the high bouncer.
And quickly here on the line for the departing Keene starter Harrison. 6 innings on the mound, 2 runs, both of which were earned on 9 hits. He struck out 2 while walking 3.
Justin McLean steps in now, the third baseman for the Twisters. He's 2 for 3. 2 singles and a ground out to shortstop. The kick, the pitch from Keetle is taken, called strike on the outside corner of the strike zone. 0-1 on McLean. McLean's hit scored the first run for the Twisters, as the pitch from Keetle is almost at the same spot. McLean about to make an offering at it, but held up. That's strike 2. No ball, 2 strike count. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Keetle kicks, delivers, low bouncer off the chest of the catcher, Durhack. Count goes 1-2 on Justin McLean. On deck is Lipschutz. Keetle's pitch is hard hit grounder right back to the mound. Stopped by Keetle on the mound. Tossed down to first base. Hendricks gets it, and that's 2 down. McLean retired for out number 2. That ball was right on the ground. No bounce or anything, but it was hard hit. But right across the grass and dirt, and Keetle put his glove down and stopped it dead in its tracks. 1-3 goes the play. So with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, 2 quick outs, Lee Lipschutz comes up, the Twisters left fielder. He's a right-hand batter. Keel, the kick and the pitch is fastball on the outside corner of the plate. Strike one on Lipschutz. Lee Lipschutz, 1 for 3 in the game, a single in the fourth. The 0-1 is taken, strike two, fastball right down the middle. Little curve there. That looked like it was going inside and then was back over the plate a little bit. Even I could see that. The 0-2 pitch is taken well inside for strike, or excuse me, for the first ball of this at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Lipschutz. Mike Sokol's on deck. 2 down. Ketel's pitch is a bouncer on the second hop, taken by Baker, the third baseman, ranging over, throws across, and they get Lipschutz for the third out to retire the side. 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 7th. 5-3 goes the play. Score remains the same. Torrington Twisters up 2-0 over the Keene Swamp Bats from Fusenage Park in Torrington. Okay, we're in the top of the 8th inning. Tim Rice back on the mound. 2-0 score, the Twisters over the Swamp Bats. Alex Durhack, Jeff Barry, and then back to the top of the order with Rocky Baker, the scheduled 3 here for the Keene Swamp Bats to face Tim Rice. Home plate umpire dusts off home plate. So that's better, and that'll bring up Durhack. Durhack's the catcher. He's 0 for 2. Flied out to center in his last at-bat in the 5th. So Durhack, right-hand batter, steps in, taps the bat on home plate. Now he's got it up there. Tim Rice on the mound looks in for the signs from the catcher. He kicks, delivers the first pitch. Hard hit foul straight back on the screen behind home plate. Count goes 0-1.
Durhack still looking for his first hit of the game. He's one of 3 Keene Swamp Bats who have come in with averages in the 100s. Him alongside Trey Hendricks and Brad Ouellette, each in the 100s coming into tonight's contest.
Rice's 0-1 pitch is taken. Called strike 2. 0-2 the count on Durhack. Jeff Barry on deck. Tim Rice looks in, he kicks, delivers, and fastball taken outside and low for ball 1. 1-2. That was well outside. Got away a little bit. Farrell playing just on the grass at shortstop. The 1-2 pitch is hit in the air. Left center, going deep for it, falling into the glove of Lipschutz, going over to his left. 1 down.
Really just a medium-range fly ball that Lipschutz had to drift over for and run about 5 or 6 steps, and the ball was in his glove.
Oh, I said going deep. I thought it was going to keep going. Then all of a sudden it died and came down. He was right there.
Right.
So with 1 out in the top of the 8th, that'll bring up Jeff Barry, the Swamp Bat center fielder. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout in his last at-bat, grounded out to short back in the 2nd. The first pitch to him from Rice is low and away for ball 1. Again, Twisters with 9 hits and 2 runs. Swamp Bats no runs on 2 hits. The pitch is taken down the middle for a strike. Barry squared the bump but then held back. So that was a strike, 1-1. So Tim Rice, the 1-1 pitch, is taken low for a ball. The batter, Barry, flinched a little bit, nowhere near going into a check swing, though. And that pitch was low, so it's 2 balls, 1 strike on Jeff Barry. Tim Rice, pitch is taken low for ball 3. Looks in long for the sign. He sets the kick, and the 3-1 delivery is taken a little bit low. Not as low as the other one, but low for ball 4. So a 1-out walk for Jeff Barry.
Really not bad. Rice, a man who we talked about before, he walked a lot of batters in college coming out. Really, that's one of the rare walks he's given up on the evening tonight.
That's right. So with 1 out and a runner on first, back to the top of the order, Rocky Baker steps in, the third baseman. He drew a walk in his last at-bat. To throw down to first. Back there sliding is Barry, safe. Throw down again, diving back safely is Barry.
DeJuan Rice is the player of the game.
Is low in the dirt, taken for a ball, bouncing in front of the catcher, Udy.
Strikeouts almost in double digits on the evening. Very good and calm and composed for a kid who just finished his freshman year of college.
1-0 count on Baker. Runner takes his lead from first. Rice's throw is a little bit high for ball 2. Off-speed pitch as Udy goes out to the mound to have a talk with him out there.
Well, Rice, a young pitcher, and of course he's still trying to work on the shutout tonight. Probably just a few soothing words by Udy to Rice to tell him to not worry about that runner at first when you're trying to get the batters out.
Barry takes his lead, Sokol holding him on. The 2-0 pitch is taken high for ball 3. 3-0 on Rocky Baker, the leadoff hitter.
He's got one out in the inning. A ground ball in the infield would be a double play.
Rice, kick and the pitch is well outside for ball 4. So 2 walks in a row. Barry moves down to second base and
before the game. About 4 o'clock, he got in there and took some licks and poked a few balls out into the outfield. He's still got a pretty good bat.
Oh, yeah. So Carrillo grounded out back to the shortstop in his last at-bat in the 6th. He struck out in the 3rd and a fly out to left field in his first at-bat in the 1st inning. He's the number 2 hitter. A left-hand batter. Both runners take their leads from 1st and 2nd. Rice looks back to 2nd. He kicks, delivers, bunted. First base side. Reaching over and getting it is Tim Rice. Underhand flip to Sokol at first base. 1 down. The runners move up to 3rd and 2nd. 2 out.
You have to expect that with runners at 1st and 2nd and only 1 out. Really, Torrington doing just the right move in that situation, getting the sure out over at first base.
Yeah, that's right. They had no play on anybody else. And the runners were moving, too. And they were on their way down there. That was a good thing. At least they got 2 outs now. As Brendan Gilligan steps in, the designated hitter, he's 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts in his last at-bat and a ground back to the pitcher in the 1st. Rice kicks, delivers, and inside pitch bouncing in front of the catcher, Udy. He jumps up and checks the runners. They're not going anywhere. LaHare on deck. We're in the 8th inning. Top of the 8th. 2-0 score. Twisters with the lead over Keene Swamp Bats. 2 out. 1-0 count on Brendan Gilligan as Tim Rice leans in for the sign. He sets the kick, and the 1-0 is outside and a little bit high. Ball 2.
And, of course, the man at right field tonight, John Cronin, as well as being a Connecticut kid, also a teammate of Tim Rice's. Played at Richmond last year, said if Rice throws strikes, Torrington has a good chance to win. He's not doing so here, 2-0.
2-0 pitch from Rice is a fastball taken strike 1 right down the middle. 2-1. And Baker at 2nd and Barry down on 3rd. Take their leads. Nobody really holding them on. 2-1 count, and Rice pitches, bounces back behind the catcher, Udy off the wall. Coming in to score, sliding in there is Barry. 2-1 goes the score, and down to third base goes Baker. That bounced away and went way back to the wall. That went flying out from under Udy there and hit the wall behind home plate. No chance to get Barry coming home.
Safe to assume that that's a wild pitch. The ball really just uncorked off the hand of the pitcher, Rice, and now he has to worry about the runner at third base, the game-tying run. It's now 2-1.
Yeah, 1 run difference here with 2 outs at the top of the 8th. Gilligan, a 3-1 count. Rice's pitch is inside, backs him up a little bit for ball 4. So Gilligan draws a walk. First and third now. Brian LaHare will be the batter with runners on first and third with 2 out. LaHare is 0 for 2 and with a walk. A strikeout and a ground out to short in his 2 at-bats. Left-hand hitter takes a couple practice cuts as Rice looks in for the sign. The runner takes their lead. The kick and the first pitch. Fastball taken a little low for ball 1 as Udi goes out to the mound to talk to Rice.
And really, Udi probably just handing the ball back to his pitcher, uttering a few words of confidence. You really don't want to miss inside to this kid, LaHare, the cleanup hitter.
That's right, LaHare, number 4. LaRoche on deck. Runners take their lead. Rice looks in for the sign to throw down to first. Back there standing up is Gilligan. Nice move down there by Rice. Doesn't really have to go into a major turn of his whole body. He just turned all of a sudden through very quickly there. Pitch is swung on in the air, left field, down the corner near foul territory, just out of the reach of the diving lip shuts. That's a great attempt. That was literally 3 inches away from his glove, about 10 feet foul. He dove for that.
And for the Torrington starter, Rice, a little bit too close for comfort as the ball dropped just 6 inches, probably about 5 to 6 inches to the left of the third base line. That ball dropped in, we would be tied.
Unfortunately, it was foul for the Twisters with runners on first and third. Count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike on Brian LaHare. Left fielder for the Keene Swampats. Tim Rice looking in. He sets, looks down to first, and the kick and the 1-1 pitch is way inside and hits the batter on the shoulder, but bounces away from the catcher all the way back to the wall. Coming in and sliding in safe is Baker. Score is tied. I thought it hit the batter, but it didn't hit the batter.
And apparently so did the Torrington pitcher, Rice. A little bit of confusion as the ball almost appeared to sail off the back end of the batter, LaHare. The ball just, Torrington catcher Wick Udi, slow in responding to the ball that hit the backstop, and consequently the runner at third, Baker, was able to get a good lead and score the game-tying run. Now we have a whole new ball game.
2-1 count on LaHare. The runner on second base, Gilligan. Score now tied in the 8th. Rice's pitch is swung on, fouled straight back behind home plate. 2-2 the count.
And both runs crossing the plate, of course, were unearned. That being errors in the form of wild pitches by the Torrington starter, Rice.
LaRoche on deck. The 2-2 pitch from Rice is low in the dirt. Well, swung on and missed by the batter, but the catcher, Udi, picks it up and tags him out. For out number 3. So at the end of 7.5 innings, the Keene Swampats just tie it up here in the top of the 8th. The score is tied 2 apiece from Fusenage Park between the Torrington Twisters and the Keene Swampats. Justin Keedle back on the mound again. Came in a little bit earlier. He'll be set to face Mike Sokol, Jordan Zarnicki, and Wick Udi, the scheduled 3 batters for the Twisters here in the bottom of the 8th. Like to break this tie, tied up 2-2 here in the 8th. Udi's a left-hand batter, or Sokol rather, is a left-hand batter. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Keedle sets the kick, and the pitch is taken high for a ball. Fastball, just high. Sokol's the first baseman for Torrington tonight. Keedle's pitch is outside corner for strike. Counts 2-2. Zarnicki on deck. The 1-1 pitch is low inside for ball 2. Count goes 2-1 on Sokol. Sokol drew a walk back in the second inning, then 2 groundouts. Keatle's pitch is hit on the ground. Little bouncer to the second baseman, Carullo. Picks it up and fires over to first, 1 down here in the 8th.
And Jeremy, as we look ahead to the top half of the 9th inning, right-hander Jason Bergman warming in the Torrington bullpen. So Bergman he appears to be throwing pretty regularly, so look for him to come back in the 9th in relief of the Torrington starter, Tim Rice.
Jordan Zarnicki will step in, the Twister center fielder. He is 1 for 3. First pitch to him from Keatle is outside corner. Nice pitch, strike 1 taken. Zarnicki had a single on his first at-bat. In the second, he struck out and grounded out. Keatle kicking the 0-1 pitch is taken for strike. Outside corner. Close call. Zarnicki didn't look to entirely agree with that call. A little bit of frustration. Counts 0-2 quickly. The 0-2 pitch from Keatle is taken. No, that's a hits batsman. Just hit him. I didn't think that one hit him, but must have just nicked his glove or his shirt. Okay.
And now the home plate umpire appears to be calling Zarnicki back. And now Twisters manager Greg Hunt, not happy with the call, out to say a few words. The home plate and first base umpire converging, talking it over.
Looks like they are going to let Zarnicki stay on first. There's a little conference there, and Greg Hunt came out too. Okay, so it is a hits batsman.
Well, Zarnicki it was a pitch that was inside. The pitch appeared to sail underneath his gloves as he was holding the bat up, and Zarnicki just nonchalantly walked down to first base like it nipped him.
Yeah, very quickly he took right off as Wick Udi steps in, the catcher. Walked twice in the game. Left-hand hitter. Zarnicki takes his lead. Swung on and hit high in the air and deep to right center. Coming over the center fielder, Barry, and he makes the catch. And to throw in to get Zarnicki way off first base, but he'll get back there sliding in time, though. Zarnicki was way off first base, but he was able to race back there. I don't think he thought they were going to get that ball.
It goes back to the old adage, halfway on a fly ball. He was about halfway, looked up and saw the center fielder, Barry, converging for Keene, and Brad Ouellette trying to get the ball. From his momentary look, it appeared that both players were going to let the ball drop, so he just made the turnaround second, was basically about a quarter of the way to third when he realized, oh, shoot, I better get back. Ran all the way back and just beat out the throw.
Lou Farrell now the batter. First pitch to him from Josh Keatle is taken for a strike on the outside corner, strike 1. There is a Lou call from the stands that's beginning to form here for Lou Farrell. You can hear the fans chanting Lou a little bit as Zarnicki takes his lead. Farrell's a left-hand batter. He's the shortstop. He is 1 for 3. Throw down to first. Zarnicki diving back there safely in time. Farrell had a double in his last at-bat in the 6th. Came around to score on a single. That was the second run of the game. In the 6th. We're in the 8th now. Leaning in for the sign is Justin Keatle. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed, but Zarnicki going down to second base. The throw down from the catcher, and they nail Zarnicki, trying to steal second base for the third out. Nice throw by the catcher, Durhack, to end the threat here in the 8th. So the score still tied at the end of 8 complete innings from Fustage Park between the Torrington Twisters and the Keene Swamp Bats. 2-2. Well, Ladd Hall has come in to the game here in the 9th to go the rest of the way for Tim Rice. Ladd Hall from Eastern Arizona Junior College comes from Hereford, Arizona. Right-handed pitcher. Known to use the fastball. Gets his warm-up tosses in there. Well, again, the score is tied between Twist. The 8th, both runs scored to tie it up for the Keene Swamp Bats. As we said, these Twisters are 4-4 on the season. They have a 2-game winning streak. They'd like to make it 3 following a 4-game losing streak. Score is tied here tonight. So Andy LaRoche, the Swamp Bat shortstop, steps in. He struck out twice in singles. Right-hand batter. First pitch to him from Hall is a fastball inside corner for a strike. Ouellette on deck. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball, a little bit high for ball 2 as Udi jumps up and trots out to the mound to have a word with Hall. LaRoche has struck out twice in the game and singled as Udi goes back to home plate. So back in there now is LaRoche. Looking in for the sign is Ladd Hall. He sets the kick, and the 2-0 pitch is a fastball, a little bit high. LaRoche yanks his head out of the way there. 3-0 goes the count. Wasn't near his head, but up and in a little bit, enough to make you want to get back a little. 3-0 pitch is taken low near the dirt for ball 4. So a leadoff walk here in the 9th for LaRoche. And the batter now will be Brett Ouellette, the right fielder for the Keene Swamp Bats. He's 0 for 3. Strikeout and 2 flyouts.
Well, now we'll see what Keene tends to do here with a winning run at first and no outs.
McLean playing shallow at third base, a couple feet on the grass. Runner takes his lead from first. The first pitch to Ouellette is squared to bump but holds back. That pitch is taken for a ball, a little low. 1-0 count. Ouellette is 0 for 3. Strikeout, 2 flyouts. Trey Hendricks is on deck. The pitch is bunted, a high foul up on the screen behind home plate near the on-deck area. And LaRoche, the runner, on first.
1-0 pitch, not able. Ouellette not able to get down that bunt on the inside fastball, popped it back and out of play. So now everyone in the park knows his intentions.
Move that runner along. Nobody out. Perfect chance to do it. Throw down, hard throw down to first, but back there standing up. Not too far a lead by LaRoche.
And now the throw over by the first baseman, Mike Sokol, back to the pitcher, gets over him and over to the third baseman. McLean had to cut it off.
1-1 count on Ouellette. The runner takes off. The pitch is the throw from Udi down there, and they nail LaRoche trying to steal second base. I didn't think they'd be able to get him. That was a nice jump by LaRoche. And then Udi's throw down there right on the money.
Really a perfect throw. Wick caught that ball, sprinted right up, and fired a perfect knee-high strike all the way down there. And a good tag over by the Twisters shortstop, Lou Farrell.
So 1-1 goes the count on Brett Ouellette. Ladd Hall kicks, delivers, and swung on and missed for strike 3. So he must have had 2 strikes on him at some point. Okay, I was paying attention to the scoreboard. I lose track sometimes, but that was strike 3 on Ouellette. 2 down, just like that.
What a great team effort by this Torrington here in the 9th after that leadoff walk to LaRoche. Quickly the steal. He tried to steal it, and Udi gunned it down, and then the pitcher responded by striking out Ouellette, so now there's 2 down.
Hendricks 1 for 3, the batter. The first pitch to him from Hall is low outside in the dirt for ball 1. 1-0 the count with 2 outs on Hendricks in the 9th. Score tied. The first baseman, Hendricks is. The pitch from Hall is low, taken for ball 2. On deck is Durhack, the catcher. So Ladd Hall back on the rubber on the mound. Looks in for the sign from Udi, the catcher. Infielders playing fairly deep. The pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to right field. Going back, straight back is Cronin, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. So That's it for the top of the ninth inning. The score still remains tied at 2 between the Torrington Twisters and the Keene Swamp Bats of the NECBL.
On WAPJ is brought to you with underwriting by and Jeremy as we get set to go to the bottom of the ninth inning here from Houstonage Park. The important question is who's going to be our player of the game?
Yeah, this is the time to start thinking about that. The first person I could come to think of is Tim Rice, going that distance, and he has had quite an outing.
Well, Rice has been tremendous. I mean, strikeout total almost in the double digits, but now with the game tied, you almost have to consider who the offensive hero is going to be this evening.
That's true, too. That's right. Never know what's going to happen. Well, lies ahead. Lou Farrell, the leadoff batter here at the bottom of the ninth, the shortstop. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Blake Justice and John Cronin. They're the scheduled 3. Lou Farrell is 1 for 3, a double in his last at-bat. Later came around to score. Struck out and flied out earlier in the game. Left-hand hitter. Justin Keatle on the mound. His first pitch is taken outside corner, strike 1, fastball. Farrell steps out and steps back in again, picks the bat up and up over the shoulder. He's ready. Keatle kicks, delivers. The 0-1 pitch is called a ball. 1-1 goes the count on Lou Farrell. Second baseman Carullo playing a little deeper. Bunted but foul right behind. Then caught by the catcher. No, that's not caught. That's just a foul ball. Count goes 1-2 on Farrell.
Well, really a good idea by the catcher Durhack. Ball bounced in front of the plate, then rolled foul. Durhack pounced on it, kind of threw acrobatically off balance over to the first baseman Hendricks. They both thought it was a fair ball.
1 ball, 2 strike count. The pitch from Keatle is popped foul, going well out of play on the third base side beyond the dugout. Bounces away. Count remains 1-2 on Lou Farrell. Justice on deck, top of the order. Score is tied 2-2. We're in the bottom of the ninth. Torrington Twisters would like to break it open and win the game right here. As Farrell gets back in there with a 1 ball, 2 strike count, nobody out. Justin Keatle on the mound. He looks in for the signs from the catcher Durhack. The kick and the 1-2 pitch is swung foul on the screen behind home plate. And Keatle walks back, and now he's back on the rubber, looking in for the sign from the catcher. Farrell ready at the plate. The 1-2 pitch is just outside for ball 2. Count goes even, 2-2. Twisters 2 runs, 9 hits. Keene 2 runs on 2 hits. The 2-2 to Lou Farrell is swung on, hit in the air, down in the corner, left field side, going well foul. Giving chase is LaHare. He's not able to get there.
Good piece of hitting by Farrell. Able to connect on a few solid balls. That one hit into medium range left field, but a little bit foul. Has to try and swing a little bit earlier on the next pitch.
Count still 2-2 on Farrell. Left-hand hitting shortstop. 2-2 pitch from Keatle is bounces away from the catcher. Did he check swing? And he did not. So that's taken for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Farrell.
And Lou stuck the bat out and then pulled back the Keene catcher. Andy Durhack quickly pointed down to the first base umpire who called him safe. So no strike on the last pitch. Count now full.
Payoff from Keatle is swung and foul down in the corner, third base side, way down in the corner. Fan reaches over and tries to snag it from the fence there. Bounces away from him. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Farrell. With Justice on deck, followed by Cronin. Center fielder shaded to left. The pitch is swung on, popped up, shallow left field. Coming in to make the catch is LaHare for the second out. Or the first out, rather.
Well, Luke coming up big in the late innings last night. found himself in the situation of leading off here in the ninth. Just popped it up to left field. Had a chance of dropping in, but the keen left fielder, Brian LaHare, had a good read on it and made the basket catch.
So with one out, the batter will be Blake Justice, the Twisters' second baseman. He is 3 for 4, 3 singles in the game, and scored a run. First pitch to him from Keedle is a fastball taken low inside, ball 1. Grounded out in his first at-bat, and then singled in the third, the fifth, and the sixth. The 1-0 pitch is bunted, foul, right behind Justice as he runs down the first base line. Count goes 1-1. On deck, John Cronin.
A great idea by Blake. Blake batting left-handed, took that inside pitch and tried to drag it down the first base line. I would venture to say it probably would have caught everyone off by surprise, but the pitch being a changeup, he wasn't able to get the bat fully on the ball in time and rolled foul.
The 1-1 pitch from Keedle is low and away for ball 2. 2 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. On Justice. He steps out of the box, takes a look down to the third base. Now he steps back in there. Swings a couple times. Looking in for the sign on the mound is Justin Keedle. He sets the kick, the pitch. Fastball. Ball 3, a little bit low, just low. Crowd getting into it here. The charge chant is going. Like to break this tie right here in the ninth, not go into extra innings. The pitch is swung and fouled right beyond the dugout, third base side. Bounces out almost near the line. And center fielder Barry is a little bit closer to left field. A lot of space in the right center. The right fielder Olette playing a little closer to the line. Justice hits a bouncer to the second baseman on the third hop, picked up by Carrillo. The throw is way over the head and into the first base dugout. So a ground rule double for, he's going down to second base. That must be a ground rule double for Blake Justice.
We'll wait to see what the official scoring was. A little two-hopper.
I don't see how it could be a ground rule double, though.
Well, Carrillo, it's being ruled in error. Carrillo had a good line on the ball. He just threw over the head of the first baseman, Hendricks. It's a two-base error, the first error of the game for either clubs. And it may prove to be costly as Justice, with great speed, heads over to second base with a winning run.
Is reminiscent of earlier in the game. He scored all the way from second base. We'll see if John Cronin or actually Roberts did it earlier, but I'd like to see John Cronin do it this time. A nice base hit, and Justice comes speeding around. John Cronin, the right fielder. First pitch to him is inside the strike zone for called strike. Inside corner. Cronin adjusts his gloves. He has a red bat. Cronin does. A little rare. I see a couple of those, but not too many.
Looks like a maple bat.
The pitch is swung, a high, hard-hit bouncer. Second baseman Carrillo up with it, throws down the first, and they got Cronin, but down to third base goes Justice, 90 feet away.
And really almost an error, the second error of the game by Cronin, too. Cronin taking his time, just fielded it and threw across his body, but it was a little bit wide of the first baseman Trey Hendricks' glove. Trey had to use those long arms over there and reach out and grab the ball.
So with 2 outs, tied score, bottom of the ninth. Justice on third. Brandon Roberts steps up to the plate. He had the RBI single back in the fifth that scored Justice. Stealing home is Justice, but they got him out. Throw to home, and they got him.
Justice appears to be injured.
That was a surprise.
Really?
And Justice is hurt. He's lying on the ground there a few feet away from home plate, and the trainer and Greg Hunt have come out to see what's happening.
Well, really, I wonder if that was a missed squeeze play because you had the left-handed batter, Cronin, up, an outside pitch. I wonder if he missed a sign because Justice was going all the way. and I think everyone in the park realized that halfway down the line he was dead. Yet it has the energy, efficiency, and durability of a fiberglass door. Newport 2 adds timeless elegance to a home, whether it's traditional, contemporary, colonial, ranch, or Victorian. And there's an amazing array of glass design options. Torrington Lumber Company, 281 Church Street, Torrington, the home of Peachtree Doors and Windows, the perfect combination of beauty and design. And by Sports Palace, 25 Pine Ridge Road, Torrington, the official outfitters of the Torrington Twisters. Sports Palace has Twisters t-shirts, player hats, fan hats, pennants, seat cushions, bumper stickers, and more. Sports Palace, 25 Pine Ridge Road, Torrington, the longest continuous sporting goods store in the northwest corner. Do you want to do play-by-play in a second?
Back to John, but while we have a moment here, I'm just going to run down some of the other games that were scheduled for tonight. Some of them may be still going on. Some of them may have concluded by now. Concord at North Adams, that was a 7 p.m. start. Mill City at Manchester at 7. Middletown at Sanford, also 7 o'clock. Danbury at Newport at 6:35 start. And River Point was at Thread City at 7 p.m. See what happens in those games and see the difference in the standings. And also tonight's game between Keene at Torrington.
Third. And so now we go to the top half of the 10th inning here at Fustage Park in Torrington. Some Ladd Hall still on in relief of the Torrington starter Tim Rice, and some defensive changes. Justin McLean takes over at second base for the injured Blake Justice, who came out of the game trying to steal home in the 9th. And Torrington's going to try and keep Keene scoreless and try and get the run back here in the bottom of the 10th. So Hall's still in his warm-up pitches, getting set to throw down to second base is Wick Udi. And here in the top of the 10th inning, it's going to be 8-9-1 for the Keene Swamp Bats. And some defensive changes, moving over from the outfield to take McLean's place at third base is Lee Lipschitz. So the new infield, Lipschitz at third, Farrell remains at second, Justin McLean at first for the injured Blake Justice, and still Mike Sokol. And so now Ladd Hall gets set and throws the first pitch to Durhack, inside corner, in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Durhack 0 for 3 on the evening. Still looking for his first hit. Check swing. Udi points over to first base for the appeal. The umpire calls him safe, so now the count now evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Thrilling baseball game up to this point. The 1-1 pitch from Ladd Hall, swung on and missed by Durhack. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, up and down, and had the lead for quite a while, and then in the 8th, the 2 runs tied it up. Torrington got their runs earlier.
There's a swing and a rip down the left field line, fouling out of play. Hall quickly asked for the ball back, and now is going to go back to the mound and try and work from a fresh perspective of forgoing that ball. That ball was hit sharply down the left field line, but way foul. And so now the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed. The ball gets away from the catcher, Udi. Wick takes it and fires down to first to complete the play. And so now there's 1 down here in the 10th.
Well, Twisters would like to hold him, as the batter will be Jeff Berry. And then back to the top of the order.
Berry scored one of Keene's 2 runs here in the game. 0 for 2 officially. Got on in the 8th inning and scored that run with a walk. First pitch to Berry, inside and low for a ball. Count now 1-0. And really for Hall, he's going to have to. His job is just to keep these Keene batters to not threaten here in the 10th. Really, the Torrington pitcher Tim Rice was pitched very well. Gave up the only 2 runs. Unfortunately, they tied the game. Tim's now off the hook for a no decision, and the decision is on whoever gives up the winning run, obviously. And now the time called by the number 9 hitter tonight, Jeff Berry. 1 out. We're playing extra frames here at Fusenich Park. Score tied at 2. Here's the pitch to Berry. Bunts and fouls this one straight to the pitcher, Hall. Actually, right off the end of the bat, a little blooper. Hall picked it up, fired to first for the out. 1-3. Good idea by Berry. Wrong execution as the ball just bounced right to the pitcher. He had to take 2 steps off the mound and fire to first.
Yeah, it's a tough play. A lot of times, any play to the mound that must surprise the pitcher, and that 60 feet starts to feel more like 6 or 12 feet.
Absolutely.
Not much time to react even on a bouncer like that. Like it knocked it down with his chest there and had to pick it back up again.
Top of the order now, Rocky Baker. First pitch inside. Baker had to squirmish out of the way of that one. Counts now 1-0.
Going into this game, Ladd Hall pitched 3 innings, struck out 2 and walked 2 in the season so far. The 0 run average going into the game.
Swing and a miss on that pitch. Count now evens. 1 ball, 1 strike. Little bouncing ball hit over towards the third baseman. Lipschitz. Lee fires over to first in time for the out. 1-2-3. Do the Swamp Bats go here in the 10th? Torrington with a chance to win it. Going into the bottom of the 10th. Top 10, nothing across. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 10th with Torrington tied with Keene 2-2. And as we get set to go to the bottom of the 10th inning, Keene has a new pitcher on the mound. It's number 18, Justin Orenduff. Orenduff coming into the game 0-1 with a 3.60 ERA. Has only appeared in 2 games, one of which has been a start. He relieves he gets set to face Brandon Roberts here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Brandon leading off for the Twisters. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Roberts was the batter when Justice attempted the steal of home.
Getting a second chance here in extra innings.
Roberts had a single back in the 5th.
And count is now no balls, 2 strikes. Roberts takes that pitch high and outside. Count is now 1-2. Brandon 1 for 4 on the evening. Singled in the 5th. Struck out in the 1st. Check swing on that one. 1-2 pitch. He definitely went. He sits down. First strikeout of the game for Ozendorf.
There's been a few of those in this game tonight. I don't know how many, but we've seen that a few times. The catcher tagging the batter out for that third strikeout.
Well, with 9 by the Torrington starter Rice, the Brian Harrison, who got the start for Keene, just recently departed. He only struck out about 3 or 4, but nonetheless, a lot of Ks tonight. Double digits. First pitch to Justin McLean, now playing second base. Sails in there for a ball, a little bit high. Count now 1-0.
I think they had McLean at first base a couple times at the very beginning of the season.
Obviously a very versatile infielder. Count now 1-1, and of course not the most ideal situation, having to fill in at second base for your leadoff hitter, Blake Justice, who was out of the game. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. It's now 1-2.
Lipschitz is on deck.
And Lipschitz, of course, taking McLean's place over at third base. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's outside and gets away from the catcher, Durhack. But really, with no runners on base, does not mean anything, as the count is now 2 balls. Count goes full now. No, excuse me, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oren Duff from Eastern Arizona University just completed his freshman year. Winds and delivers the 2-2 pitch inside corner, strike 3. McLean sits down for the second strikeout of the game here in the 10th.
Nice inning for Keatle so far. Keatle, the pitcher. Lipschutz is 1 for 3 in the game. A single.
First pitch, swinging a foul ball. Lipschutz a little close in getting back to the plate at home as the foul ball appeared to go off one of his shins. Count is now 0-1. Much of this near-capacity Friday night crowd has stayed through the extra innings, able to watch, ready and willing to watch this Torrington team try for their 3rd straight victory. Here's the windup and the pitch. A little high chopper over to Baker at third. Fires across the diamond and in time to get Lee Lipschutz for the final out here in the 10th. 1, 2, 3 here in the bottom of the 10th. And, folks, we go to the 11th. Torrington, nothing across. No runs, no hits, no errors. They're still tied with Keene, 2-2. And now as we go to the
Number 24, Josh Gray.
we go to the top of the 11th. New pitcher for Torrington, number 24, Josh Gray. He takes the mound and relieves Ladd Hall and will face the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters again for this Keene Swamp Bath lineup in the top of the 11th.
Josh Gray out of Lamar University, left-handed pitcher, 6'4", from Orange, Texas. Getting his warm-up tosses in.
And Gray really just starting the pitch here on a much smaller Torrington crowd, just between innings. A lot of the younger teenage fans and a lot of the kids wearing uniforms walking out of the ballpark saying they've gotten their money's worth, but a few die-hard fans still remain. And now we'll start the 11th with Keene coming up trying to break this 2-2 tie.
Number 19,
Matt Carullo now, 0 for 4 on the evening. Has a strikeout. That was way back in the 3rd.
Josh Gray, a 2.77 earned run average so far this season.
Slightly open stance has Carullo. First pitch fastball. A little bit high for ball 1.
13 innings pitched, has struck out 15.
As second offering, hit on the ground to the right side, over to McLean at second. Fires over to first for the out. Fundamental baseball here. Doesn't get much more easier than that. Brings up Brendan Gilligan now. Gilligan 0 for 3 on the evening. Walked in the 8th.
Gilligan has a home run on the season with 2 runs batted in.
One of the very few home runs for this Keene Swamp Bats ball club. First pitch in there for a ball, a little bit low. It's now 1-0. Into the windup is Gray, the left-hander. Pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. Counts now 1 ball, 1 strike. And Gray back to deliver the 1-1 pitch. Good location, missed a little bit outside. It's a fastball. Count now goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground to the third baseman, Lipschutz. Rolls foul. Lee making an effort trying to come back up and scoop that up. A little high chopper that hit off the plate. And, of course, eventually rolls foul. 2-2 score, top of the 11th inning. Keene and Torrington loving baseball so much, they're going to go extra frames. Torrington did have the lead, 2-0 lead. Lasted through 8 innings until the Torrington starter Reich yielded 2 runs in that inning. Keene was able to capitalize on that. And now that's where we are here in the top of the 11th inning. Score tied at 2. Now, Brandon Gilligan up. First pitch, fastball, a little bit high, though. Count is now 0-1.
You know, likewise, with the crowd going down somewhat, it's very quiet here. It's been quiet here the last inning, as long as we've been in extra innings, but now the crowd's gone down a little more.
Gilligan now swings, hits that one on the ground to the first baseman, Sokol, having to hurry as he was out of play to actually run the ball in. Fires over to the pitcher, Gray, covering for the final out, for the second out of the inning. 3-1.
Happens that way a lot in extra innings, whether you're watching it in the majors or this level or high school level or whatever level. A lot of times you get into extra innings, all of a sudden all the bats are just stagnant. Nothing happens for innings.
Really, it's just almost like a case of lethargy on the player's account.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, we have to play extra innings. But here's the man, Brian LaHare, takes the first pitch inside for a ball. LaHare, a power hitter. Now into the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Outside corner, hits it for a strike. The count now goes to 1-1.
LaHare has struck out in his last 2 at-bats. He's 0 for 3 with a walk.
And now the 1-1 pitch sailing in there from Gray. Check swing a little bit low, not enough to appeal. And now the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. And really, I mean, if you look at the Swamp Bats lineup, they really did not explode until the 8th. So they had that little small period of surgence and then kind of have settled down a little bit. The 2-1 pitch sailing in there for a strike. Count now evening at 2 balls, 2 strikes here with 2 out in the top of the 11th.
The Twisters got their runs in the middle of the game. 1 run in the 5th, and then the following inning they got another run.
LaHare, the 2-2, Gray, the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on LaHare. He sits down. It's the first. Keene goes 1-2-3 here in extra frames. Nothing across yet again. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. We played 10.5 from Fusnich Park. The score remains Torrington 2, Keene 2 on WAPJ. And now here as we get set to begin the top of the 11th inning, Justin Orendorf on for his second full inning of work. Orendorf, you know, it's interesting to watch his the way he works and warms up. He starts coming from the stretch with his left leg basically stretched out in front of him, kind of slithers his body back up to his arms coming set with the glove, and then fires down in there. Very much an unorthodox motion. But he kept the Twisters scoreless in the 10th, and that's what he's going to try and attempt to do here in the 11th. Torrington sending up Mike Sokol, Jordan Zarnicki, and Wick Udi here in the bottom of the 11th.
Boland up from George Washington University, Chesapeake Bay, Virginia's hometown.
Sokol, first pitch, hit on the air, into right center field for the single, leadoff single, hopefully trying to ignite something for this Twisters ball club.
That's the way to do it. Nice single, starts the surgence.
Really just a outside fastball that the right-handed hitting Sokol just punched into right center field. And now the Twisters coaches in the third base box flashing the signals now. Jordan Zarnicki, after looking at the signals, steps back into the box now. Awaits the first pitch from Orendorf. There's a bunt down the first baseline. Orendorf off the mound, firing over to first to get Zarnicki, but he did his job. The runner Sokol advancing from first to second on the sacrifice. Runner in scoring position, 1 out.
That was a great bunt right down near the first base line there. Slow roller. Far away from the pitcher. He had to run a long way to get it.
And now with, really, I mean, for Torrington, if you play the percentages, probably not the best scenario to have if you have your 8 and 9 hitter up, but really 2 chances to get a runner over to third and then home. So really just no question about that play, that being the right call by the Twisters coaching staff. Orendorf from the stretch with the arm dangling, now coming set. The first pitch to Wick Udi. In there, a little bit low though. Count is now 1-0. Udi, a pair of walks on the evening. Flat out to left in the 6th. Flat out to center in the 8th. Score tied 2-2. We're in the 11th. The 1-0 pitch, a fastball high. Count now runs to 2-0. Udi trying to get his teammate over at second base, Mike Sokol, in for this winning run. And, of course, with this being the bottom of the 11th, any run scored here by Torrington would be the final. And now time is called as Udi takes a step back and adjusts his batting gloves and now comes ready to await the 2-0 offering from Orendorf. The pitch, inside corner, a little bit to the right of the inside corner, over the plate. That's a called strike. Count is now 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, Lou Farrell, the 9th batter, is on deck. In runner in scoring position with 1 out.
And now the pitch, a little bit low. That's called a ball. The count now runs to 3-1. So now, here in the 11th, with a 2-2 score and a 3-1 count to Wick Udi, Torrington in a really good situation.
That's a very different setting motion by the pitcher.
The 3-1 pitch taken on the heart of the plate. Everyone knew that was coming. Of course, you don't want to walk the runner on first base. But of course, on the contrary, the thinking also would be, why don't you put Udi on at first? That way, with 1 out, any ground ball hit to the infield would be a double play. But they elect to pitch to Udi. The 3-2 pitch, payoff pitch, fouled back and out of play, hitting the net. We'll do it again.
Udi doing the catching for Torrington tonight.
And really, this might be the first true test of how Torrington is as a ball club tonight. They won 6-5 the other night. Won an extra inning affair. We're going extra innings here at Fusenich Park. So Torrington already having 1 win under their belts from that win 2 nights ago when Willimantic against the Tides, trying to come back here and win the ball game by scoring the 3rd run here to break a 2-2 tie in the 11th. Wick Udi now, full count. The payoff pitch from Orendorf, hit foul and out of play on the left side. That bouncing into the Torrington Park, the Torrington Plaza parking lot, back end of it. So it'll be the 3rd straight 3-2 pitch upcoming. And now Udi calling time. Comes set in this crucial situation, adjusting his batting glove. Justin Orendorf, the keen pitcher, now comes set. The payoff pitch hit on the ground to the right side. Should be playable. First baseman Trey Hendricks tags on the bag. But most importantly, the winning run trots over to third base here with 2 outs in the 11th.
That's Mike Sokol, just 90 feet away down there at third base.
And now perhaps how fittingly, the man who was the hero, a late inning hero last night with that suicide squeeze bunt, Lou Farrell, is up at the plate with the same scenario basically. Tied ball game, runner on at third, late innings. The difference, of course, between tonight and last night is that it's sudden death. So here we go. Orendorf coming set. First pitch, swung on and missed. Little off-speed stuff, a little curveball that dropped, a little 12-6 drop. The bottom just dropped out of that. So Farrell, a product of maybe his own determination, now has an 0-1 count. A little bit too anxious on that play. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball very well framed by the Keene catcher, Andy Durak. That's called a strike, so now the count goes 0-2 to Lou Farrell.
Farrell came around to score the second run of the game in the sixth inning for the Torrington Twisters.
Now here's the 0-2 pitch. Living on that outside corner, but 6 inches off the plate, and it's called a ball. First ball of the at-bat. Now 1-2. Now here comes the 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to the shortstop. It should be playable. LaRoche fires over to first, and the Twisters are retired here in the 11th. They had a chance, but weren't able to do it. They strand one runner at third base, do not push a run across. No runs on one hit with no errors, and that lone runner stranded at third. We go to the top of the 12th. Torrington and Keene still tied at 2.
The Twisters will have a new pitcher, David Telementes, coming in here now in the top of the 12th inning.
And Telementes, the 5th pitcher of the game for Torrington, who is still trying to hang on to this 2-2 tie and try and hold Keene here in the top of the 12th and get their final at-bats in the bottom of the inning. Telementes pitched well last night, a scoreless inning against Thread City. Probably one of the few fresh arms that Coach Greg Hunt has up there. There's already another pitcher warming in the bullpen in case he is needed.
Telementes has a 1 win, no loss record so far in the season, and 5 innings pitched. He's struck out 6 batters. Has 1 save.
And of course, as we